It's a November feel for a game that's played in mid-October. It's week 7 of the high school football season, and we have a great one tonight. Game time on your view from Elkhorn. And good evening, everybody, and welcome to the floor of Elkhorn Stadium, along with Connor Happer, former Omaha Central lineman. I'm Gary Sharp. Great matchup tonight. Two teams that are in the battle to go to Memorial Stadium every November. Tonight, it's one of the last two unbeatens in Class A, Elkhorn South. One of the stalwarts of Class A, Omaha Westside.
Yeah, this is as good as it gets. It's a great matchup tonight between these two teams. We have a dynamic offense, and Westside. Let's take a look at Tay Jenkins. Jenkins this year, he's over 1,000 yards already. It's going to be tough to catch tonight with the speed. Also, the dynamic playmakers everywhere across the ball for Westside. It'll be a challenge tonight for Elkhorn South.
Yeah, it seems like it's a Friday, so Tay Jenkins is going to go for 200+. Elkhorn South has always been known as a physical team. They like to run the ball. Now, it's pretty easy to run the ball when you have a guy that's headed to Fresno State and Jaden Sutko.
Yeah, another one, over 1,000 yards. Now, they get it in different ways. Sutko, big physical back, and he is going to shoulder the load. He had a game this year against Bellevue West where he ran for over 300 yards and 36 carries. But the last 2 weeks, just 6 carries apiece in Elkhorn South's blowout wins, so he's well rested and ready to run it tonight.
Omaha Westside 5-1. Number 2 Elkhorn South 6-0. Should be a great night for football in Class A. It's game time on your view. Kickoff is next.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. Over 30% of our new clients are referred by former clients. That says it all. Our results and client satisfaction. That's how we became the largest injury firm in the world. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Call 800-589-0055. That's 800-589-0055.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Game time on Your View is brought to you by the University of Nebraska at Omaha. At UNO, you're not just on campus, you're in a city full of opportunity. Visit unomaha.edu to explore. Golf USA, as golf as it gets. And by Woodhouse, a partner in your everyday since 1975.
With Lake Cunningham as a backdrop, good evening, everybody. Welcome back into Elkhorn Stadium. Along with Connor Happer, I'm Gary Sharp. Beautiful night for football here in mid-October. And a lot of excitement. The stands are packed. That's an indication how big this game is. 70 degrees at kickoff. Elkhorn South won the toss, and they deferred to the second half. So that's how we'll get started. Jackson Mawson will kick off. Omaha Westside, Tay Jenkins, not only in the backfield, as Connor was alluding to in the open, but also in the return game. So you have to watch out for him. Last year he had 2 kickoff returns, 4 touchdowns. Should be a good one. Elkhorn South has never beaten Omaha Westside. Last year, 45-3 in favor of the Warriors. 6-0 Elkhorn South, 5-1 Westside. Mawson approaches the ball, and it's in the air, and we're underway. And it'll chase Jenkins into the end zone, and in high school, that's an automatic touchback. So good start for Elkhorn South, and we get a look right away at a future Power 4 quarterback, Braylon Warren. Now a junior, 6'2", 205 pounds. He's got 15 Power 4 offers, 914 yards passing on the season. That is 6th in Class A. He is the son of former Nebraska All-Big 12 defensive lineman Steve Warren And Braylon is the trigger man for this offense, but there will be a lot of Tay Jenkins, who began the year with 3 straight games going over 200 yards. Again, beautiful night at Elkhorn Stadium, beautiful facility on the campus of Elkhorn High. Elkhorn South and Creighton Prep are the only 2 unbeatens, and those are the next 2 opponents for the Warriors. As Jenkins is in the backfield with Braylon Warren. 2-year starter. They went from Cole Payton to Rizak to now Warren, and you see the arm strength as he fires it downfield, close to a first down. They're going to give him a first down, and that is to Mo Purify the second. Let's take a look at the starting lineups, Connor. They're brought to you by Golf USA, as golf as it gets.
Yeah, you see Purify there on the edge getting busy already. Westside going to go with a little bit of hurry-up action, or at least straight to it. Couple dynamic playmakers on the edge, and, of course, Jenkins in the backfield.
Little play action, and again they go to Purify down the sidelines, and he got another first down. So back-to-back tosses from Warren to Purify. His father played at Nebraska, just like Braylon Warren's dad, and that's the defense that so far they put together 2 passes. It's a good defense. That is a stellar unit for Elkhorn South. Only one time have they allowed more than 7 points in a game.
Not a surprise to see Westside go to the perimeter a couple times to start with tonight.
21 yards on 2 passes, and now here's Tay Jenkins. And he's got 8 yards right up the middle.
That's what this offense is going to give you. Outside, inside, you can really go whichever way when you're as balanced as Westside is, and you have an explosive running back like Jenkins. So they'll spread it around to their playmakers tonight, and then before you know it, bang, Tay Jenkins has got you.
Jenkins was the first-team All-Stater as a sophomore. He's the number 1 rusher in Class A. Warren has some time, and then the pocket crumbles. Tried to get a couple of yards, but he is brought down. That's going to bring up 3rd down and short, as Cameron Wolf was in on the tackle, amongst others, Bo Gilman as well. And
there you see Elkhorn South's defense just mucking it up kind of in the middle of the play there and stopping Warren from going anywhere, and now we have an official timeout.
Isaac Pemberton, who was also in on the tackle, and they immediately come out. Guy Rosenberg, the head coach for Elkhorn South, is out, and they're looking at his knee. That is never a good sign. Guy Rosenberg now in his 14th year, 121-31. A major concern for Pemberton, who is a starting linebacker, the senior with now 30 tackles. He went down right after the tackle of Warren before the 3rd down and 4 play. This is the first time, and Pemberton, maybe the knee just locked up on him. First time that Elkhorn South has played a ranked team since they played Bellevue West back in September. Westside, their lone loss 2 weeks ago. Lost at home for the first time since 2019. First time they lost in the regular season since 2022 when they lost 31-28 to Omaha Central.
Here's Guy Rosenberg. It's been fun to watch this program build and build and build. A lot of playoff success to boot so far, and they might have their best team this year.
3rd down and 4. Warren calls his own number, dives. Did he get there? They're going to mark him about a yard short. Pulled it out. Looks like it's going to be 4th down and 1.
Yeah, they went with Quentin Warren there out of the Wildcat. And that's a big tight end, fullback, kind of H-back there. Gets short, so gets it to 4th and manageable here. But this is a big play for Elkhorn South's defense early.
The Wildcat, Quentin Warren, who is the fullback / tight end, 6'3", 225. 4th down and 2. Quentin Warren, once again, around the end, he's got the first down. Boy, a luxury to have. Braylon Warren comes out. Quentin Warren stays in, takes the direct snap on back-to-back snaps, and he has another first down, and the opening drive of the game continues for the Warriors.
And when he gets some space, too, he can really get going. You do not want to see Quentin Warren coming at you on the edge as he goes straight through a would-be tackler there and gets the first down.
Yeah, he is tough. He runs a 4.8 40. He's headed to Northwest Missouri State, along with a trio of teammates. So Braylon Warren is back out, 1st down and 10. His drive started at the 20. Warren, quick pass to Purify, and he is locked up right away. Good defensive play on the outside by Bennett Gilman to bring down the tall Mo Purify, 6'3", 185, and it'll be 2nd down.
This is just steadily moving the ball down the field in a bunch of different ways for Westside, showing their balance early. But Elkhorn South's defense is doing a nice job. You can't allow Westside to have the big play. It might come, but you can't allow it to happen at this portion of the game.
Westside in 6 games has scored 271 points, as Tay Jenkins going to be about a yard short. That little delayed handoff, and you see the quick burst by Tay. Boy, he is one of the best skill players in the state. He is only a junior, just like his starting quarterback. Last year in the 12-1 season for the Warriors, they go quick. He ran for nearly 2,000 yards. Here's another carry by Tay Jenkins, and he's got a first down. And that's the whole key with Jenkins, because once he gets to the next level, he can take off. With a good defensive play, ankle tackle by Wolf, but not enough to stop Westside from gaining another first down.
Yeah, this is a really good play by Cameron Wolf, because you don't know what happens once Jenkins gets outside the numbers a little bit further. Good ankle tackle.
Jenkins, what a start to the season. 3 straight games he went over 200 yards. Drive continues. Warren, empty backfield, throws it. Jenkins catches it, and he is immediately met. Jaden Sutko. So the top 2 rushers in Class A meet on that play. The tackle by Sutko, who is being looked at as a linebacker at the next level for Fresno State. That's where he's committed to. It's now going to be 2nd down and 8.
Man, and look at him get there and then break down. Don't let Jenkins get by you, using a little bit of that short area quickness as a running back.
This drive began at the 20 after a touchback to begin the game. Play action, Warren pass caught near side by Purify. They'd worked the right side with Mo the second. Now they work the left side, and they are just nickel and diamond down the field, and now it'll be 3rd down and short once again.
Yeah, it takes some patience here to do what they're doing too. And Westside used to kind of getting whatever they want. Elkhorn South's keeping it all kind of bottled in front of them. But Westside's taking what's being given to them on this first drive.
Westside number 4 in Class A. Elkhorn South number 2 behind number 1 Millard South. Tay Jenkins, patience, gets to the outside, into the red zone, down the boundary, touchdown. 25 yards. There wasn't much room along the sideline, but Tay Jenkins doesn't need much. And he scores his 18th touchdown of the year, a 25-yard touchdown run.
Excellent run by Tay Jenkins. Like you said, Gary, patient at the line of scrimmage, reading his options, and then explodes at around the 20-yard line to go in.
But they are going to say that he stepped out of bounds at the 14-yard line.
Wow.
He didn't get skinny enough along the sidelines.
By that time, there wasn't many people around him. Let's see. Yeah, maybe that left foot there.
Good shot by our crew. So it is another first down. In this drive, started at the 20. They'll snap it from the Elkhorn South 14, and Westside will take a timeout. So this drive has eaten 3 minutes and 52 seconds off the clock, Connor.
Steady. And, if you're Westside, take a timeout here and try and get things set for the red zone a little bit. Also, there's probably a little bit of disappointment from thinking you had just scored a touchdown. Not a bad thing for Elkhorn South either, needing to take a bit of a deep breath. But just missed a touchdown. We're going to see it one more time from a different angle here. Jenkins, right foot, left foot. Yeah, what a call by our, and might have got the right foot there again, but good call by our sideline official tonight, just by a couple blades of turf.
Last year, as mentioned, Westside made it to another state final. They've been to 6 straight state finals. They've won 3 titles. We haven't seen a run like that since Creighton Prep won 5 in a row. Nobody has made it to 7 straight. Westside got beat by Millard South. Paul Lamanji, who's got titles at Burke and Westside. And their 32-game winning streak snapped in the championship game. As the Youngstown, Ohio native, now in his 4th year at Westside, looks on. First down and 10 at the 14. They're in the red zone. Who do they go to? Tay Jenkins. Where does he go? Into the end zone. This time, no worry about stepping out of bounds. That's 14 yards. That now is the 18th touchdown run of the year for Tay Jenkins.
Love what you see on that first drive from Westside. Another patient run there from Jenkins, and you could just see it. I mean, the explosion when he wants to. Man, he's a tough guy to take down already with the speed, but when you add in that short burst, he is a tough back.
Sherlizzen, who is one of the best kickers in the state, splits the uprights, and a pretty methodical drive for Westside culminated on the Tay Jenkins 14-yard touchdown run. Westside strikes first.
Nearly 1 in 4 U.S. consumers have been a victim of identity theft, even when they did all the right things to protect their personal information.
I did everything right, but an institution that had my data didn't. And now my identity's been stolen.
Banks, hospitals, employers, and other institutions all have your personal information too. And when they're exposed, careful monitoring of your accounts and credit won't be enough.
$110,000 of my hard-earned money gone.
The stakes are high, and even if you take steps to protect your personal information, you're not the only one who has it. Only LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second, alerting you to the widest volume of threats. And if you become a victim, a dedicated U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed. Plus, all LifeLock members are backed by the LifeLock $1 Million Protection Package, including reimbursement for stolen funds. Call now or go online and use promo code 35TV to save 35% off an annual plan for your first year.
Tay Jenkins, 18th touchdown of the year. Boy, what an impressive drive to begin the game when you're on the road, Connor. 13 plays, 80 yards. Tay and then Braylon Warren going 5 for 5 on the drive.
Yeah, tone setter drive for Westside. Jenkins scores twice, but once on a 14-yard touchdown run, but doing it all in 4 minutes. Really couldn't have drawn up a better start for Westside on the road.
Jenkins is only a junior. Think about that around the Metro.
Scary.
A lot of young players, sophomores and juniors, are playing quality minutes in high school football in Class A. Sherlizant, who kicked a state-tying record 5 field goals in a win over Bellevue West. His kickoff will be returned from the 10-yard line across the 20, and will start at the 23-yard line as Gavin Simic returns the kickoff. And we get a look. Elkhorn South utilizes 2 different quarterbacks, and they'll play both of them, and we will get to see the junior first, Charlie Buller, 6'2", 175 pounds, 15 of 27 on the year, 305 yards passing. But this is a unit. They can throw the ball, but they make a living with Sutko in the backfield. Jaden Sutko headed to Fresno State. They average 257 yards rushing per game, and down 7-0. They start from the 22, and they start with Sutko. Sutko trying to get to the outside, and he is corralled. And that is going to be a problem tonight, as Westside is really good at speed on the outside. As we get a look at the Elkhorn South starting offense, brought to you by Golf USA.
Buller, good quarterback. Like you said, they'll play a couple, but the key guy with the circle around him is Sutko. And you saw Westside on that first play really just key in on it and not honor the read play at all. So we'll see if Elkhorn South has any tricks in their bag on any quarterback keepers and things like that they could pull out tonight.
It was a loss of 3, and the snap goes right between the hands of Buller. And he has to fall on it back at the 6-yard line. Oh, my. We'll get another look here. I'm not sure if he was ready for the snap, but fortunately he was able to make the U-turn and land on it, or Westside's knocking on the door again.
Yeah, just a little off to his left, but just had his eyes up. Didn't quite look it in, and luckily he fell on it, but this is 3rd and a mile for Elkhorn South and a disastrous start for the Storm.
3rd down and 26. They hand it off to Sutko. And he gets a little bit better field position for the punter. You can see the lineman. There was extra blocking going on after the Sutko carry. And Elkhorn South lineman wanted a flag. There was no flag to be had. Now it'll be 4th down, and Westside's going to get great field position. Back to punt is Bo Gilman. Back to receive is Eli Johnson.
We'll see if they come after this, too.
And it's fumbled in the end zone and recovered at the 1-yard line. The snap to Gilman hit him in the hands, trickled in front of him out to the 1. All he could do was jump on it, and Westside's going to get the ball at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, just a low bouncing snap here. Punter goes to his knees, jumps on top of it at the 1, but you give Westside a 1-yard field, and that is a troublesome start for the Storm.
Well, uncharacteristic of Elkhorn South, a bad snap on a center shotgun exchange, and now on the punt. And Westside already up 7-0 after a 13-play drive. This is one play, and Jenkins does not get there. No, he does. One official signals a touchdown, and Tay Jenkins is into the end zone for the second time already in the first 6 minutes and second of the game.
And you got to make Westside and this offense earn everything they get. And it's going to be really difficult to do that with such a short field. That's a bit of an anomaly. But Elkhorn South's got to regather themselves and take a deep breath after the extra point goes through.
2 for Jenkins. 2-score lead for the Warriors.
Do you have difficulty hearing your TV? Or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from Nano hearing aids. Other hearing aids are expensive and cost thousands of dollars. But if you call now, you can get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids ever again. The Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aid is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. And they offer superior noise reduction and a tiny in-the-ear design that is nearly invisible. And best of all, they are incredibly affordable. Call now and get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Plus, get a free charging dock and your shipping is always free. But that's not all. Order now and get 1 year of elite protection with loss and theft coverage absolutely free. That's a $79 value, yours free. And all Nano hearing aids come with a 45-day money-back guarantee.
Call 1-800-390-1322. That's 1-800-390-1322.
It is USA night here at Elkhorn Stadium. Elkhorn South students in the red, white, and blue. Have a look. The student sections that are here tonight, Omaha Westside, Elkhorn South. One is happier than the other right now. We are halfway through the first quarter, and it is already 14-0 in favor of the Warriors, who have never lost to Elkhorn South. And a short kickoff. And it is brought out by Simic. Trying to get around the corner. Got blocking downfield to get out near the 30. So much better field position this time for Elkhorn South.
Yeah, finally a good burst of energy, too, for Elkhorn South. So get their legs under them and get back to what you do. And Westside knows where it's going. Elkhorn South knows where it's going. We'll see if Jaden Sutko can get going on this drive for the Storm.
Only 2 teams unbeaten in Class A. You're looking at one of them. The other is Omaha Creighton Prep. Westside hosts Prep next Friday night at Phelps Field. So Charlie Buller got the start. You'll see 2 quarterbacks in this game for Elkhorn South. And you'll see a lot of Sutko, and Sutko goes nowhere. Making the tackle, Hudson Mead. He also got some help from Burke Brown, who had a big tackle on Sutko early in the game, and there is a flag on the field.
I think that came in late.
Brian Arvin, veteran referee, football and basketball in the area.
Yeah.
Is after the play, Connor.
After the play,
that's unsportsmanlike
conduct. Number 44 on the offense.
Setting.
Those penalties offset. First down.
Both teams are called for personal foul.
Yeah, you could feel it. I mean, there's some chatter down there right now, and there was a buzz about this game before it started tonight. 2 of the top teams in the state of Nebraska in Class A, so offsetting penalties, and I suppose no harm, no foul, but it will continue throughout the remainder of the night.
So it'll be 2nd down and 13. Sutko in the backfield with Buller. And Westside jumps offside.
But those defensive linemen, Gary, are getting off pretty quick. Westside controlling the line of scrimmage right now on both sides of the ball.
Last 3 games for Elkhorn South, Grand Island, Omaha South, Omaha Burke, have outscored those 3 171-6, scoring 63 or more in all 3, but now they're back playing a ranked team. Lone ranked team they played, Bellevue West, they won 24-17 and rallied after being down 10 at halftime. Westside has already beaten Bellevue West this year, beat them by 8 a couple of weeks ago. So they march off the 5-yard penalty. And it'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Storm. And Buller to throw. Little screen to Sutko. Blocking. He finds a seam. He gets to the outside across the 40. And he's out to the 43-yard line.
That's a great play call. That's exactly what Elkhorn South needed. I mentioned it before, but those Westside defensive linemen and the edges are just pinning their ears back and trying to get in the backfield. And so what do? You hit them with a little screen, and a great job by Sutko, breaks the first tackle, and then gets up past the 40. Great first offensive big play tonight for Elkhorn South.
Old-fashioned Elkhorn South tough guy. Buller deep down the field, and it is over the head of the intended wide receiver. He was looking for Bennett Gilman, and it'll be 2nd down. Sutko headed to Fresno State. Had offers from the Air Force Academy, Washington State, and Northern Illinois. There are 3 players in the Metro that are headed to Fresno State. Matt Entz, the head coach at Fresno State, used to be at North Dakota State, so he's familiar with the area. But Sutko is also a hurdler in the spring and runs a 4.5 40. We'll see against the speed of Westside how much he can show that off. He got a little glimpse of it there on the screen pass. Now 2nd down and 10. Play action, Buller slings it downfield, and it is incomplete.
Yeah, Buller hung both of those balls up there a little bit, and on both of those coverages, it was Micah Benning in the defensive backfield, and a nice job of coverage there. Couple balls that are probably a little bit too high to catch, but Benning was all over on the coverage.
Micah Benning, only a sophomore. His brother Caleb, who was a standout at Omaha Westside, now at Nebraska as a redshirt freshman. And then, of course, their father, who is the defensive coordinator for Omaha Westside, but is not here tonight because he is the analyst on the Nebraska radio broadcast, and Nebraska takes on Maryland tomorrow in College Park. But he is watching us, our good friend. And another bobbled snap and recovered by Westside. Another mistake, and J.P. Ryan comes up with the fumble recovery. Oh, man. My. This is a worst-case scenario to begin the night for Elkhorn South. And you see the frustration of the junior quarterback.
And the operation has just been messy tonight. I don't think Buller was quite ready for it. Maybe he didn't call for it. No, he did. It just went right off his hands, dribbled it down, and Ryan was there to pick it up right away. Another gift for Westside, who really doesn't need any to have success, and Elkhorn South's giving them 2 early.
Tay Jenkins, 2 touchdown runs. The short field the last time at the 1-yard line. Now they take over in Elkhorn South territory at the 40 after the first turnover of the night. Bryson Williams in motion. And they're going to run a trick play. Roy Williams throws it deep down the field. Wide open wide receiver Johnson. He catches it, makes a cut, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown. Right after the fumble recovery, Paul Lamanji digs into the bag of tricks, and Bryson Williams goes upstairs to Johnson. 40-yard touchdown pass.
Quick change situation, turnover near midfield, and Westside pulls out a great trick in the bag. They say, they're licking their wounds a little bit. Let's hit them. Let's shock them with something. And a great ball down the field by Williams. And Westside's got him by 3 touchdowns in the first quarter.
Short field, they put it in from 1 yard. Here after the fumble, they run the trick play, and Bryson Williams launches it downfield. Johnson waited and just made a cut into the end zone. A 40-yard touchdown pass as Eli Johnson catches his 5th touchdown pass of the year. And Bryson Williams, who is headed to Iowa State, not to play quarterback. I'm sure he'll have a discussion with his parents. Dad was a standout football player at Nebraska. His mom was a really good softball player at Nebraska as well. And his older brother is a standout wide receiver currently at North Dakota State. So Paul Lamanji up 14-0. They recover a fumble at the 40. And he says, why wait? Trick play, 21-0 in favor of the Warriors.
And he has that intensity. We've seen Paul Lamanji on the sidelines, whether it be at Westside or Burke, for a long, long time around here. And he's kind of got that look in his eye tonight. Westside feeling great about themselves early in this first quarter.
Or that's the look of when you're from Youngstown, Ohio.
Yeah, it looks familiar around these parts.
You're a 4-year letterman at Cheney High School. 21-0. 4:31 to go in the first quarter. Simic again. And good special teams by Westside. And this drive will start at the 22-yard line. And Elkhorn South, first and foremost, needs a first down.
And we'll see what they do at quarterback here. And yeah, they are going to go to Luke Vlasic at quarterback, the sophomore. Really similar stats to Charlie Bowler, the quarterback a year older than him. 4 touchdowns and a pick this year, 300 yards, and 61% completion percentage. But he needs to provide a spark for Elkhorn South right away.
This is not a benching of Charlie Buller. They have done this rotation all year. So Vlasic is out on the third series. That has been the plan the whole time, and they keep it on the ground as Kiscone with his first carry of the night. Again, 21-0 in favor of Omaha Westside. Wow. Westside coming off that loss. They went to Fremont last week, won 63-7. Now they're up 21-0 on the number 2 team in Class A. Second down and 8. Vlasic to throw. Good protection, throws deep down the field, and it's over the intended wide receiver. He had Wolf open for a bit. Eli Johnson on the coverage. Now it'll be third down.
Just a little overshot maybe, and Wolf, I think if he could have got that jump back, he would have jumped just a little bit later, but you like to see Elkhorn South taking shots down the field, but they're going to have to complete one of these. Otherwise, Westside will continue to get this snowball rolling downhill.
So third down and 8. Kiscone in the backfield with Vlasic, who will throw again. Getting good protection deep down the middle of the field. Into double coverage. It's intercepted by Johnson. Eli Johnson turns it and heads the other way. The former Bearcat of Northwest Missouri State returns it back inside of the 35-yard line.
Ooh, now we got a late flag. There was some real chatter over there on the sideline. Johnson kind of spiked the ball and spun it down, and then a few more Warriors came over to give the Elkhorn South sideline a piece of their minds. But my goodness, early this is all Westside. Unfortunately, they're going to have to start this drive 15 yards back.
Ryan Arvin,
after the interception and after the play,
Eli Johnson with a touchdown reception on the trick play from Bryson Williams.
15-yard penalty from the end of the play. First down.
Third interception of the year. And as this play comes to a conclusion, you're going to see where the 15-yard penalty came.
Yeah, he's going to spike the ball down and spin it. And then a couple more come over.
We were down on the field before the game. A lot of emotion. A lot of these players have played against each other for a long time growing up. And now they're meeting in week number 7.
Well, think about how hard it was for Westside on that first drive of the game, too. They had to really methodically move their way down the field, and that was when they started in regular field position. Now it's been relatively easy after that.
Gonzalez in motion. They keep it on the ground with Tay Jenkins. Kept his balance inside of the 44-yard line before he is brought down on the play by Jake Hoskinson. His father, Matt, played football at Nebraska. You see, there might not be much to Tay, but don't let that fool you. He's listed as 5'9", 175, but he's got some great balance, great vision. And another one in the line of talented Westside running backs.
You aren't kidding about the balance. I don't know how he stayed on his feet there.
Second down and 5. Gonzalez again in motion to the top of your screen. Inside handoff to Quentin Warren. And Warren breaks one tackle on the run, delivers a hit, and he's just outside of the red zone. Boy, that is a scary sight to see the big fella, Quentin Warren, at 6'3", 225, rumbling down the sidelines.
And the only chance that any Elkhorn South player has to get him is Cameron Wolf on the edge, and he's got no choice with the big man rumbling around the corner to kind of go for the ankles, and athletic enough was Warren to stay on his feet and continue to deliver blows down the field.
He's going to Northwest Missouri State. Multi-year starter on both sides. Warren pass to the end zone and Purify catches it, makes a cut, walks into the end zone, and it is 27-0. All Westside in the first 9 minutes and 25 seconds of the game. They're a Shirlizzen PAT away from going up 4 scores. And this stadium is shocked on one side. It is 28-0 as Braylon Warren with a touchdown pass to Mo Purify the second.
One-on-one, outside, Purify, stops, goes, jogs into the end zone. Whoop, nice move there. And Westside's got a 4-touchdown lead here in the first. There was a lot of possibilities, Gary, the way that this can go. We talked about it quite a lot before the game, but this one is still pretty shocking. Westside is a good team. I didn't see this one coming.
We talked about we're going to have a close game. It seems like you go to an A or B game and games are blowout. You go last week, we were at Prep and Central, but the average score in Class A and Class B last week was 47-7. And we got to the stadium tonight and we looked at the matchup and we said, this will be a close one. Westside said, not so fast. 28-0 in favor of the Warriors. You also got to look, we haven't mentioned it much, but Braylon Warren is perfect so far. 15 Division I offers, all Power 4. He had a scorching hot summer, and him and his mates have had a blistering first quarter on this Week 7 Friday night on Game Time. Another tricky kickoff from Shirlizzen, taken at the 10 by Simic. Can he get the corner turned? He does, and then stops to get to the 25. Westside is so deep. That's another advantage. Their special teams are exceptional because of the depth. They don't have a lot of starters that play special teams. So if you want to get on the field at Westside, you usually got to be on special teams. That's been an area that under Paul Lamanji, and really actually Brett Freund as well, who was the head coach before Lamanji came over from Omaha Burke. That has been a staple of Westside football. And again, there's Paul Lamanji. What a career he's had. State of Ohio, then he was an assistant at Millard West, won a state title as an assistant coach under Dan McLaughlin as Sutko is bottled up for a short yard. Then went to Burke, won the state title in 2018 with a really, really good team, the last OPS team to win a state championship. Now took over when Brett Freund retired after Freund won a state title in 2020, the COVID year, actually beat Elkhorn South in the final.
And any Paul Lamanji coach team is... they're going to play exactly like this. The talent, it comes and goes, and it ebbs and flows, but they're always so well coached, and that's another thing that stands out about Westside. Plus, when you add the talent in, you're cooking with gas.
Family faith in football, that's the Lamanjis. And here's Sutko, who's got the football in his hands, and he is going to be close to a first down. There's Sutko he's got good vision and balance and a little bit bigger than Tay Jenkins, and he followed his blockers. He's going to be about a yard short here in the last 2 minutes of the first quarter that has been all Westside.
Is he ever bigger than Jenkins? This is a big kid, and he can get moving downhill, but he needs a little bit of space to sort of kick it into third gear. Sutko is a great player, and Elkhorn South needs to extend a drive.
Sutko again. Runs into a defender. And he is going to have a first down.
Badly need that.
That's a good step for Elkhorn South. Sutko last year had his season marred by injuries. Actually was hospitalized during the season last year and then returned to the playing field. So this is his first full season of health. He's going to Fresno State. There have been others at Power 4 that have come back around to look at Sutko after the start he's had this year. He'll carry here again on first down, and a good burst across the 40. Ran into Reed McIntyre, who last year had 102 tackles. He comes up and gets involved. Also J.P. Ryan, who recovered a fumble earlier in this quarter.
Not afraid of contact is Sutko. There's a reason why. Once again, it's that size. It's the linebacker in him. as well. Just keep feeding the big man.
Yeah, his head coach kind of calls him old-fashioned tough, not the drink. What can he do here? And it's going to be, I believe, a face mask call. McIntyre turned him inside. Instead, it's a holding call. So that's going to cost the Storm.
I was with you, Gary. I thought
looked like McIntyre had got his hand up around the cage, but instead it's holding. Guy Rosenberg on the sidelines. Elkhorn South is 54-9 in their last 5 years. They have been in the postseason 14 straight years. Rosenberg won 2 titles in Class B in 15 and 16. And 16 was the last year that Elkhorn South was in B. Now they're in A. They've been runner-up twice under Guy Rosenberg, and both of those games in Lincoln have been against Westside.
Yeah, it just keeps on coming for Elkhorn South, and now they are perennially one of the contenders in Class A. So Guy Rosenberg has done an excellent job here with this program.
2 championship programs meeting here tonight. And they're going to let the clock run out. And that might be the best thing that's happened to Elkhorn South is the first quarter is going to come to an end. All Omaha Westside. 28-0. We're back with more on Your View for the second quarter from Elkhorn Stadium after this.
Heads up, the IRS is on the move. If you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in back taxes, revenue agents can now come directly to your home to collect. That means bank accounts, assets, and cash are all up for grabs. The time for waiting is over. StopIRSDebt.com can intercept these agents and stop collections fast. With thousands of 5-star reviews, we've helped low and high income taxpayers get protected and slash their tax debt. So if you're under audit, need your returns filed, or have an agent at your door, go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings. Simply answer a few questions and you're done. With 87,000 new IRS agents on the move, don't roll the dice any longer. There are now generous options to resolve your tax debt, but you must act fast. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings.
Call 855-296-9016. That's 855-296-9016.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, we have legal professionals standing by to let you know how much your case is potentially worth. I'm here with TV personality and spokesman Tom Mustin. So, Tom, tell the viewers at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault, give us a call right now. You'll speak with a live person and find out how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. You heard it. Take advantage of this opportunity. Call now.
Along with Connor Happer, I'm Gary Sharp. Game time on Your View on this Friday night at Elkhorn Stadium, Week 7 of a 9-week regular season slate. 28-0, and Velasquez's pass is deflected, and he catches it in air, and heads-up play by the sophomore quarterback. So it's going to set up 3rd down back at the original line of scrimmage. It got batted down at the line of scrimmage, and Velasquez just went, caught it, and got about 4 yards.
I'll have to ask our statistician here. That's a pass completed, yes? Is that the first one of the game for Elkhorn South?
That is correct.
How about that?
You have that on your bingo card?
Complete it to yourself. Hey, if it gets you a few yards in this situation, you take it.
Well, the yardage in the first half, or the first quarter, 170-3 in favor of the Warriors. 3rd down and 10, play action, pass, drop. That would have been a first down, but Gilman could not hold on to it. So it'll be 4th down.
Yeah, some just sort of self-inflicted stuff. If you're Elkhorn South, you just, unfortunately, you can't unplug the Xbox. You can't hit the reset button on this game. Would have liked to redo from the top here, but way too many self-inflicted errors early.
Gilman, this time he gets a punt off. Johnson back at the 30, and he goes down. That is a great special teams tackle on the play by Ethan Grindsteiner. Now this was set up. You didn't see many blue jerseys in your picture. Could have been a long return by Johnson, but a good special team solo tackle.
Yeah, feet got tangled up there a little bit. Nice job. Westside doesn't have quite as excellent a field position as they've had tonight so far, but obviously it's still very capable of going down 70 yards.
Here comes Braylon Warren. Last year as a sophomore, 2,165 yards passing, 30 touchdown. He's got 1 touchdown tonight. A toss to Mo Purify the second. He'll throw it on first down from the 30. Fires it across the middle. It's caught by Johnson. And Johnson is going to be close. Well, they will mark it at the sticks. It's a first down. It's a nice little pitch and catch. Johnson sat down in the zone. And that's a 10-yard pickup.
Yeah, I mean, rarely, especially at this level, do you see the quarterback with an opportunity to kind of sit and go through reads and check down levels. I mean, they had a check down waiting to Jenkins, so excellent job by both the offensive line and Warren.
Here goes Jenkins. That great burst. You kind of lose sight of him. Low to the ground. And the next thing you know, he's downfield, and that is a pickup of 18 just like that for Tay Jenkins, who's already got 2 touchdowns on the ground tonight.
You're right, Gary. You do. I mean, you lose sight of him sometimes because usually he's running around and through people. You see it there. He goes another 5, 6, 7 yards after he's got 3 Elkhorn South defenders right in his face.
He began the year with 250 yards on opening week against North. Braylon Warren pass caught again to Eli Johnson. Just like that, that's a pickup of 9 as Gilman makes the tackle.
This is everything's going right for Westside, right? It's the offensive line, it's the receivers, it is the quick twitch nature of the quarterback, and then obviously Jenkins in the backfield is doing his job as well.
4-star quarterback Braylon Warren, play action, pump fake, throws it up, and Warren got hit as he threw it, and that's why it was underthrown to Purify the second. Look at who got in on Braylon Warren for one of the rare times so far tonight. Good job. I think that's Tristan Brewer, the veteran defensive lineman.
Yep. Brewer got in there and just stuck his hand up as Warren loads up to throw it, and he had a pretty favorable coverage situation down the field, too.
3rd down and 1, first down. Pickup of 8 for Tay Jenkins. Jenkins coming into tonight, tops in Class A in rushing with 1,108 yards. Running behind that big offensive line, an offensive line that features a sophomore, Justin Parrish Jr. at right tackle, and a 3-year starter at right guard in Owen James. And the pass caught by Johnson. Correct me if I'm wrong, Connor, but I believe Braylon Warren is perfect tonight.
Just the one incompletion on the.
That's right on there.
On the second to last pass there. So, yeah, he has been completion percentage wise not perfect, one off, but as far as putting balls on receivers, pretty dang close to perfect. He's been excellent tonight.
Bennett Gilman wouldn't let Johnson get away. 28-0 in favor of Westside. Turn the handed off to Jenkins. And Jenkins stays on his feet. Looked like he was going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. Did a little sidestep. Had another yard or 2 before Griffin McDonald came over to clear the pile for the Storm.
And you got to take him down, right? All the way to the ground. And it is very difficult to do, and it's something that you can't really simulate in practice, right? Whether it's the speed or the short area quickness, he is a tough tackle. And those yards, they'll bleed on you at the end.
Boy, Bo Gilman's had a nice start tonight for Elkhorn South on defense. Where's number 44? First down and 10, now at the 14. Westside driving again. Warren, plenty of time in the pocket, steps up on the run, and he will get about 4 yards. Pemberton, good to see him back into the game. He came up injured earlier in the first quarter. A pickup of about 4 yards. 28-0 in favor of Westside. Took advantage of some short fields and some miscues by the Storm. Here come the Storm, and Jenkins runs right up the middle into the end zone. And they're going to mark him down at the 1.
Elkhorn South brought a blitzing linebacker, and he just sort of ran into the pile. Jenkins ran right by him. And that's the challenge. Going to have to guess right a couple times against Jenkins.
And this time, Jenkins is locked up. Cooper Perrion was first to meet him. Griffin McDonald in there, Brewer. Also, once again, Bo Gilman. His second and goal from the shadow of the goal line.
Very few and far between negative or net zero plays tonight for Westside.
Warren pass caught. Purify the second for the second time tonight. I don't know how you stop that. It's 34-0.
I think. And there's Jenkins on the run that got him down to the 1. And I don't know if they're working in some RPO concepts, but gosh, that is advanced stuff from the quarterback, a receiver getting open. Westside, complete football team, is a lot of a flag here on the extra point. See who they get here.
34-0.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, defense, have to listen to the goal. Retry.
Sherlizen, who has been fantastic this year, he is 37 of 38 PATs, 9 of 10 on field goals. Again, he tied the state record that is held by, among others, Tristan Alvano, former Warrior. In a 29-21 win over Bellevue West, he had 5 field goals. Doesn't matter here. It's up and good. 35-0. Braylon Warren to Mo Purify the second.
Thinking about retirement? Would you like to have retirement income that you can count on for the rest of your life? How about up to 33% more income? Call this number to get this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers. This book is filled with valuable information uncovering little-known secrets to help you maximize your income in retirement. And it's free. Retirement income you can count on starts by calling for this free book. As a bonus, we'll also rush this annuity rate report, also absolutely free. Annuity National researched numerous products and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from foremost insurance companies like Nassau Life and Annuity. Call for both these free books. Annuity National, retirement income you can count on for the rest of your life. Call now.
For your free books, call 800-793-7995. That's 800-793-7995. 800-793-7995.
I think it'd be safe to say that half the stadium is shocked. It is 35-0 in favor of Omaha Westside. Number 4 team in Class A, the number 2 team in Class A. Simic returns a kick again, and he is snowed under. Maybe got back to the 15-yard line. So Elkhorn South, one of their best drives of the night was the last time they had the football. And we'll see what they're able to put together here. They will start from their own 15. Velasic, the sophomore quarterback, he splits time with Buller. He'll take this drive. Play action, and Velasic with a catch and a toss right into the hands of Bennett Gilman. Gilman was ragdolled right away after he caught it, but Velasic hung in there, and Gilman with the catch, and Bryson Williams, future Iowa State Cyclone, threw him down.
Yeah, nice play by Gilman, just making a play, and really a good play by Velasic, the quarterback, as well. had to be forced off the spot a little bit, throws it back to the middle of the field. Usually a pretty dangerous throw, but short enough to where Elkhorn South can get yards out of it.
Sutko found a seam. Sutko on the run. Sutko still going. Looks behind him and finally bumped out of bounds by Bryson Williams. The biggest play of the night for the Storm. And no surprise, it is Jaden Sutko.
Good patient run yet again, and Elkhorn South was patiently waiting for that one to happen, and now they're going to hurry things up a little bit on offense as Sutko comes off the field.
40-yard run by Sutko. Kiscone right up the middle. Now let's look at this run again by Sutko. The best play from scrimmage all night for the Storm.
Yep. Takes the handoff, read play, and gets right around that edge. Good seal on that right tackle spot. And staying alive. Finally gets pushed out of bounds late. Good run by Sutko.
J.P. Ryan and Williams caught up to him, and that says a lot. Sutko's got some great speed. Kiscone, can he get to the outside? Williams came up to meet him first. And it's going to be 3rd down and 6 for the Storm. Down 35-0 here in the second quarter. You look at Jaden Sutko. Guy Rosenberg was not familiar with Sutko as a running back, but his wife is friends with Sutko's mom on Facebook and saw video of Sutko as an 8th grader hurdling. Said, looks like he could be my running back someday.
That's the origin story of Jaden Sutko, the running back.
Because he also plays linebacker, but we've seen his ability this season at running back for Elkhorn South. He's had some big games.
His formation, too.
And they run it straight ahead, and Sutko falls forward. They're not going to give him enough for the first down, so it's going to be 4th down and short.
But this is what Elkhorn South wants to be, right? You're playing right now like it's 0-0. That's the only way you can do it. So stick to your game plan, and you got to be ahead of the chains. And you're in good position to get a 4th down conversion here. You still have to get it, but you can hand it off to your big man for a couple yards and continue on and try and get to the end zone on this drive.
So they go with the Rhino package, a Guy Rosenberg special, 4th and 1. Handoff, Sutko, 1st down. Difficult to stop. And on 4th and short, the Rhino makes some noise and it's a 1st down for the Storm.
Yep, this is a nice job. Off to the right, couple lead blockers head that way, and they get just enough, and Sutko's got enough space for a 1st down, and Westside wants a timeout to sort of get their puppies organized before the final 3.5.
The Storm, the best drive of the night. They've reached the 11. We'll see what they do next.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions, and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
It's taken a while, but it appears, Connor, that Elkhorn South has settled in on offense. They've found Jaden Sutko's running room a little bit more, and now this is a drive that's got to result in points. 1st down and 10 at the 11. They go straight with the Rhino. And Sutko bangs into the middle of the line of scrimmage, pinballs off one Warrior, brought down by Quentin Warren.
And you knew it was going to be a heavy carry night tonight for Sutko. He's got 12 for over 80 now. And they're going to need him to punch it in on this drive, and 40 on one play. They needed that big play just to feel like, all right, let's get our feet underneath us, and now they got to punch it in.
He ran 39 times in their come-from-behind win against Bellevue West for 304 yards. Rhino package again. Vlasic play action. Now he's in trouble, and he's going to go down. Brown, who's had a good first half for the Warriors, comes up and sacks Vlasic, and they read that one perfectly. Out of the Rhino, they ran play action, and Westside was ready for it.
And you got to give Quentin Warren some credit. He has been a stud on both sides of the ball tonight. He has been in the backfield all night on defense, setting the edge, and there he comes through. He got held, too, right in front of the play, and still causes enough trouble to get the sack. Check this out. Ooh, might have got away with a face mask as well, or at least got the hurry. Great stuff from Quentin Warren tonight, winning matchups.
You know, and he's headed to Northwest Missouri State, and that's a great spot for him. But I've been watching him for a couple of years, and I've always asked the question, who else? Who else? FCS, South Dakota State, South Dakota, North Dakota State. Delay of game called on Elkhorn South. So
5-yard penalty.
this drive, which looked really promising, getting down to the 11-yard line, the sack of Vlasic, and now the penalty moves it back to the 20. But you're right, Connor. He's got a motor that doesn't stop, loves playing football, and he's just a big old physical fullback, tight end, defensive lineman, linebacker type. Sutko in motion. Little pop pass to him, and it is taken care of. On the outside, you couldn't get around J.P. Ryan.
Man, that's the first time tonight we've seen anything like that from Elkhorn South. I like what they drew up there. Get Sutko moving around the edge with a little bit of speed, but Westside's just ready for it. They flow everybody over to that side of the field and come up with a nice tackle on the play. That's J.P. Ryan who comes up with it.
They just have so much speed, Westside does, on defense that you got to be better than their speed to get the outside. So now Elkhorn South will attempt a field goal. Mawson from 35 yards away. He's 5 for 5 on the year. His longest is 41. Again, this is from 35. The snap back, the hold. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And Elkhorn South is on the board. 35-yard field goal for the sophomore place kicker, Jackson Mawson.
We got some pyrotechnics here tonight as well. Elkhorn South would have liked to shoot the fireworks off a little bit earlier tonight, but they get on the board. That's a good-looking kick as well, and make it 35-3 here before half. And you just know, Gary, that Westside is going to want to try and push the pedal down here before half. So Elkhorn South can't be too happy with what just occurred. You got to be ready for Westside to come back out and throw another punch here. But it has been all Westside, but a good drive there for Elkhorn South to get themselves on the board.
They would love to have 7. They at least get 3 on the 35-yard field goal. Coming up at halftime, we'll talk to David Kingston from the biomechanics department at the University of Nebraska Omaha, assistant professor, and Mimi Ramsbottom, who is going into the Nebraska High School and National High School Hall of Fame. Former golf coach here at Elkhorn South. She'll join us coming up at halftime, which is a minute 18 away. Tay Jenkins returns the kick. There's always danger when Tay has the ball, and he's up to the 35-yard line. Westside has one timeout remaining, up 35-3.
Jake Hoskinson on the tackle. First down for the Warriors at the 35-yard line.
Like I said, Gary, I would think that they're going to want to push the pedal down here. We'll see. Another good return by Jenkins, who, once again, is running for at least 10 or 15 yards with just a ton of bodies and no foot room around him. So great balance by Jenkins. And we'll see maybe the arm of Warren here. Seeing 1 or 2 shots downfield. But other than that, it's been pretty workmanlike tonight for Westside.
Play action. Warren's got plenty of time. That's dangerous across the middle, and the pass is incomplete. He had Johnson in midfield, and there is a flag down, holding called on Westside. That's why Braylon Warren had plenty of time. But how about the arm strength of the junior quarterback? because when he lets it go, it is a dart downfield.
Yeah, he gets it out really quick as well. And
Holding.
He's got
Offense.
plenty of time back
Number
there.
72.
Had illegally
10
too
yards
much
from the
time
previous
on that
spot.
play. Flag came in
Replay,
late.
first down.
But, yeah, Warren is a sharp-looking quarterback. He has done his job plus some tonight for Westside.
35-3 in favor of the Warriors. 5-1. Lost to Central 2 weeks ago. And there was a little confusion. Bryson Williams took off early.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense.
And it's going to
Number
cost
28,
the Warriors 5 yards.
5-yard penalty, first down.
Trying to make the state final for the 7th straight year.
Maybe now, 1st and 25, you aren't quite pushing down on that pedal quite as hard, but you never know. Westside can break a big one as well.
Jenkins in the backfield, 4 wide receivers, high snap. Hauled down by Braylon Warren. And Jenkins, one of his few carries that has not gone for a chunk play. This one goes for 3.
Elkhorn South, sorry, Gary, is not going to try and get an extra possession out of this either. They'll let this roll down and take this result into halftime.
Elkhorn South will get the football to begin the second half. This game began with a 13-play, 80-yard drive, nearly 4 minutes for Westside. Ended on a Jenkins touchdown run. And Jenkins is tackled for a loss. Bradley Battiano, who it seems like every time he makes a tackle, it's a tackle for loss. That is actually his 13th tackle of the year. 7 have been for tackles for losses. And Elkhorn South will take a timeout. It's now 3rd down and long.
Yeah.
Timeout.
Now you think, okay.
Elkhorn South.
If we can get off the field on 3rd down here on this play, and we can force a punt, maybe come after a punt and see if we can sneak a short field away. But you're going to have to do it really, really quickly in order to have a chance to get points.
Yeah, so much firepower for Westside. You know, they don't rebuild, they reload. And 5-1 on the year. What a run they have been on. From Brett Freund to Paul Lamanji. Both of these schools, their feeder programs are exceptional, and their freshmen and JV teams. Look at the youngsters in attendance here tonight. Great crowd on hand. Both sides. The Elkhorn South side of Elkhorn Stadium is shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip. And the west side, they always draw well on the road. They're packed as well. Great scene, red, white, and blue. It's USA night for the students of Elkhorn South. 3rd down and 22. Warren to put it up. Plenty of time again. Surveys the situation deep downfield to Bryson Williams, and he drops it. There were 4 Storm defenders around him, but the ball was headed right for Bryson Williams, and he dropped it.
What a ball here from Braylon Warren. Perfect spiral all the way down the field. Crossing was Bryson Williams, and you mentioned there was 4 defenders around him, but they were not close enough. As we'll get another look, Williams, he's got some momentum behind him too. If he brings that in, he might be able to turn that corner and score, and they get the play that they needed. Instead, Westside will punt.
So for the first time tonight, Westside will punt the football away. Tyler Hanna, multi-sport athlete at Westside. Good punt. And it's returned by Simic. Simic fighting to stay upright. He'll go down, and now there's just 3 seconds remaining here in the first half.
You got enough time to snap the ball, so one shot here. Well, let's see if there's any trickeration. Not if you're concerned about throwing into a wind, just a little bit of a breeze coming out of the north. That is the direction that Elkhorn South is moving tonight. So we'll see if they decide to throw it all the way down the field, or if they throw it short and get some laterals going or something like that. You do have to be careful because you certainly don't want to turn the ball over and allow free runners for Westside. So we'll see what the Storm decide to do. maybe they just keep it on the ground.
Vlasic at quarterback. And they will keep it on the ground to Sutko. And he'll go down. And a strong first half on defense by Westside. It finishes with J.P. Ryan. That linebacker crew has played well in the first 24 minutes for Westside. All Warriors after one half. 35-3 at the break. Halftime festivities are coming up next on Your View.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. Over 30% of our new clients are referred by former clients. That says it all. Our results and client satisfaction, that's how we became the largest injury firm in the world. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Call 800-589-0055. That's 800-589-0055.
This is important news for people implanted with a spinal cord stimulator for chronic pain relief that malfunctioned, causing serious complications or even death. The FDA has reported thousands of adverse events. If you've been implanted with a spinal cord stimulator and suffered any of these complications, call the law offices of Davis & Crump at the number below right now to find out if you're eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Call the law offices of Davis & Crump right now. Our first consultation is free, and we don't get paid unless you get paid. Call now. Operators are standing by.
We are at halftime at Elkhorn Stadium, where Omaha Westside leads Elkhorn South by a score of 35-3. The halftime festivities brought to you by the University of Nebraska Omaha at UNO. You're not just on campus, you're in a city full of opportunity. Visit unomaha.edu for more information. Speaking of the University of Nebraska Omaha, David Kingston, who is from the biomechanics department, joins us. Everybody is going biomechanics. That's where we'll start. What is biomechanics?
Yeah, sure. So biomechanics is the study of living systems and how forces, when they interact with them, can change their structure and function. So a big thing that we do is understand how tissues develop, how humans move, which is my specialty. I generally look at kids with cerebral palsy and how they walk and help to improve them walk. And we just try to help people. So we either design novel tools that can be used from a mechanical perspective, or we try and understand that disease process to help understand medicine and improve it for people.
I imagine there's a lot of sports biomechanics sort of like they come together,
Yeah.
right? And especially here in a sport like football.
That's right. So across the parking lot from our building is the Health Science Collective and Health Science Collaborative. We have a really strong focus with the Sports Medicine Biomechanics program, which is a bit of an offshoot of our department, and they work with Major League Baseball players. We've had a couple graduates from our program actually end up at the Mets or at the Capitals. So it's been a really cool development for our program, where we can take the skills that someone in biomechanics may develop and apply that in human performance, clinical care, and many other fields.
You kind of touched on it, but what makes the program at University of Nebraska Omaha different than some of your peers?
We have a massive availability of resources for our trainees and for the faculty that work there. Truly, I came from Canada, and when I interviewed down here, it is truly world class. We have secured additional funding to even expand the building and the team that we have. So the specializations that we work with span from cell and tissue level with cardiovascular team to human movement variability and the rehab work that I do with kiddos here in Omaha and the greater area.
I imagine that's a pretty big attraction for potential students.
It sure is. The easiest way to get involved is to reach out to us. So if you type in UN Omaha or UNO Biomechanics, you'll land on our page. And we have high school volunteer and internship programs that are available through our Office of Research and Creative Activity, let alone go through the faculty page, reach out to individuals when you look at their specialization and what might be interesting to you. We're always looking for people to get hands-on, and a great way to work with humans and other people as subjects, not a wet lab where you're just using test tubes and things like that. You get to interact with people, athletes. We're a great resource for that and a wonderful way to train and develop your own skill set.
All right, let's talk about sports, because you mentioned you're from Canada, so you're used to the CFL. You're now seeing the American football, high school, college, pro. A lot different from the football that you played up north.
It sure was. So, admittedly, we have television and we watch the NFL. It's not just Igloos up there. But certainly, I played high school and university ball up in Canada. And it was 3 downs. So, as a strong side halfback, a lot more moving around, a little bit bigger field, but some changes coming to the Canadian game. We're starting to emulate our brothers to the south. So, it's an exciting time and a little bit change for the Canadian players, too.
I did want to ask you, your department is kind of on the cutting edge. What is something that you're really excited about that you guys are working on that the rest of us are going to find out shortly?
I think one of the big leading edge developments is going to be in markerless motion capture. Okay. It's something that my team has published scientific articles in. And what it does is remove a lot of the restrictions of, if you've seen animation in movies where you have little silver balls or characters and performers are in these crazy suits, we can take away that restriction and just use video to reconstruct people moving, athletes. It opens up a whole new era. So that is a big field where animation and the physics and math and STEM that we do as biomechanists really comes together, where we can help more people and see people moving in a more natural way, because they're not in a lab, they're not all markered up with little skin-tight suits or in their underwear. You can get into very realistic environments, even in some cases pitching mounds, right? You can have a pitcher out on the field and we can do reconstruction of them, trying to understand what the joint loading and forces are.
I was going to say, I've mostly seen it in baseball. I mean, that is definitely one of the places where baseball has gone to. Biomechanics, you're right there.
And what it allows is coaches and trainers who are trying to put that number to it. If you've all seen Moneyball and the movies like it, it's no longer, hey, they're a natural. Look at how good they move. We can put the numbers towards that and help advise athletic training, rehab, and just human performance of, you can get better if you do this, because here's all the people who can perform at a higher level. Here's what they're doing with numbers. No longer just flick your wrist a bit. Move your shoulder 20 degrees, put a bit more force through your drive leg, and we can quantify that and give people real numbers.
Fantastic stuff. David Kingston, professor with the biomechanics department at the University of Nebraska Omaha. Thanks for stopping by.
Absolutely. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thanks,
David. It is halftime, 35-3 in favor of Omaha Westside. We're back with more from Elkhorn Stadium after this on Game Time.
Nearly 1 in 4 U.S. consumers have been a victim of identity theft, even when they did all the right things to protect their personal information.
I did everything right, but an institution that had my data didn't. And now my identity's been stolen.
Banks, hospitals, employers, and other institutions all have your personal information too. And when they're exposed, careful monitoring of your accounts and credit won't be enough.
$110,000 of my hard-earned money gone.
The stakes are high, and even if you take steps to protect your personal information, you're not the only one who has it. Only LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second, alerting you to the widest volume of threats. And if you become a victim, a dedicated U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed. Plus, all LifeLock members are backed by the LifeLock $1 Million Protection Package, including reimbursement for stolen funds. Call now or go online and use promo code 35TV to save 35% off an annual plan for your first year.
Heads up, the IRS is on the move. If you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in back taxes, revenue agents can now come directly to your home to collect. That means bank accounts, assets, and cash are all up for grabs. The time for waiting is over. StopIRSDebt.com can intercept these agents and stop collections fast. With thousands of 5-star reviews, we've helped low and high income taxpayers get protected and slash their tax debt. So if you're under audit, need your returns filed, or have an agent at your door, go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings. Simply answer a few questions and you're done. With 87,000 new IRS agents on the move, don't roll the dice any longer. There are now generous options to resolve your tax debt, but you must act fast. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings.
Call 855-296-9016. That's 855-296-9016.
Game Time on Your View is brought to you by the University of Nebraska at Omaha. At UNO, you're not just on campus, you're in a city full of opportunity. Visit unomaha.edu to explore. Golf USA, as golf as it gets. And by Woodhouse, a partner in your everyday since 1975.
On a beautiful night for football back here at Elkhorn Stadium, it is halftime. Omaha Westside leads Elkhorn South 35-3, and we're joined here in the booth by a Hall of Famer.
Hi.
How's that sound?
Mimi
Wow.
Ramsbottom, who is the former golf coach here at Elkhorn South in the Nebraska High School Hall of Fame and now the National High School Hall of Fame. How?
You know, I said I was in the right place at the right time, and it was a fabulous ride to be able to do that. I've said that over and over and over again, but Coach Guy Rosenberg told me one time, he said, Mimi, you've been in a great place, but somebody has to steer the ship. So I have been a good captain of a ship, and it's been a fun ride.
Well, tell us about some of those experiences, you know, or, I mean, there's a lot to cover, obviously, but what jumps out?
You know, of course the state championships jump out, but it's really the kids, the relationships with the girls, and of course their family. We have so many incredible family members that I just date everything that we've done, and my kids were old enough when I started coaching that I didn't feel like I was neglecting my own family. So I invested in this new family, and my own family came along for the ride, and Jay being one of those. So that's really, really fun. I can't tell you the stories that we have. I will say that some traditions come to mind quickly, and that one is that we, as we'd ride home from all of our golf tournaments, we would play the best shot of the day report. How are we going to keep going, and what gets you out of bed tomorrow morning to come to school and come to practice? And I still have college athletes, former high school athletes that will, hey coach, here's my best shot of the day, and they'll text it, and that
awesome.
That is pretty awesome. And I will ask my kids when they go out and play, what was your best shot of the day? So love it.
You were referencing your son-in-law, who is a good friend of mine, Jay Moore, who played football at Nebraska, played in the NFL, is from Elkhorn High.
Yep.
So for you in this great career that you've had to be a Hall of Famer, why did you get into coaching?
You know, I landed in the right place at the right time. I played high school golf, played college golf for Nebraska, and it just fit. I just have always been passionate about the game, and being a teacher, the teaching and coaching to me are just so hand in hand. So I've loved it. It fell in my lap, and I loved it.
Elkhorn and Elkhorn South.
Yep, both.
Opening up with Elkhorn South,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
yeah.
now it's been some time since that school opened. Like, I mean, how have you seen this thing progress over the last 15 years?
Well, I have a coach from Marion told me one time I now have a coach tree because my former assistant coaches, one coaches at Elkhorn North and one at Elkhorn South, and they were my assistant coaches, and now they're head coaches, and that tree can just keep growing. I love it.
Hey, Mimi, thank you very much. Congratulations
Thank you.
for joining us. And, you know, if you want to give us two any lessons, we'd be up for it.
Oh, yeah.
Glad. I've got free time on my hands, so please call me.
Hey, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mimi Ramsbottom, now into the National High School Hall of Fame and the Nebraska High School Hall of Fame golf coach here in Elkhorn. We're back with more halftime after this.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Thinking about retirement? Would you like to have retirement income that you can count on for the rest of your life? How about up to 33% more income? Call this number to get this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers. This book is filled with valuable information uncovering little-known secrets to help you maximize your income in retirement. And it's free. Retirement income you can count on starts by calling for this free book. As a bonus, we'll also rush this annuity rate report, also absolutely free. Annuity National researched numerous products and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from foremost insurance companies like Nassau Life and Annuity. Call for both these free books, Annuity National, retirement income you can count on for the rest of your life. Call now.
For your free books, call 800-793-7995. That's 800-793-7995. 800-793-7995.
Yeah, that score on your screen, 35-3. Omaha Westside blitzed Elkhorn South here in the first half. Let's check out how they got to that point. And it started on the opening drive, Connor.
Yep, Tay Jenkins goes in for his first score. This was the laboring drive for Westside. 13 plays, 80 yards in a little under 4 minutes. Then a 1-yard drive, and Tay Jenkins squeezes it in for a touchdown to make it 14-0. Then a little bit more creative on this one. That's Bryson Williams to Eli Johnson for the score, making it 21-0. And Braylon Warren, I got to get in on this action a little bit. He's got Maurice Purify out there, swings by and scores it, makes it 28-0. And then Purify again, RPO slant, easy money for a touchdown for Westside. Elkhorn South gets a field goal before the half and makes it 35-3.
35-3 in favor of Omaha Westside, leading Elkhorn South. The Storm will get the football to begin the second half.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. Over 30% of our new clients are referred by former clients. That says it all. Our results and client satisfaction, that's how we became the largest injury firm in the world. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Call 800-589-0055. That's 800-589-0055.
Do you have difficulty hearing your TV? Or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from Nano hearing aids. Other hearing aids are expensive and cost thousands of dollars. But if you call now, you can get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids ever again. The Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aid is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. And they offer superior noise reduction and a tiny in-the-ear design that is nearly invisible. And best of all, they are incredibly affordable. Call now and get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Plus, get a free charging dock and your shipping is always free. But that's not all. Order now and get 1 year of Elite protection with loss and theft coverage absolutely free. That's a $79 value, yours free. And all Nano hearing aids come with a 45-day money-back guarantee.
Call 1-800-390-1322. That's 1-800-390-1322.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Another beautiful night for football right here. Game time on Your View at Elkhorn Stadium. Westside leading Elkhorn South 35-3. We saw the highlights, and here are the stats, and kind of tells you the whole story of a lopsided first 24 minutes.
Well, and especially the first about 21 minutes for Westside before Elkhorn South was able to put a drive together and get 243 to 79 in total yards in the first half, and that's with a long drive for Elkhorn South to really end that first half. So a lot of work to do here for Elkhorn South, and it's got to be one play at a time against this tough Westside group. At least for the Storm, they get the ball first here, and they get a chance to set the tone in the second half.
Cox Fast Stats, giving football fans all the latest stats courtesy of Cox. There's Paul Lamanji. Also, Paul Lamanji, cancer survivor. Battled tonsil cancer. He was hospitalized. He was not on the field for the championship game last November. 27-10 loss to Millard South. Damon Benning filled the role as interim coach while Coach Lamanji was away from the team. But boy, he's such a huge asset on the field and in the classroom at Omaha Westside. Two really great coaches and great staffs here tonight. So the Storm start with the football. We'll see what kind of field position they have, and this is kind of very similar to what they had in the first half as Simic gets out to about the 23-yard line.
You mentioned it earlier, Gary. The special teams for Westside, really impressive. I mean, they have been all over every kick coverage tonight and punt coverage as well. So excellent job by Westside. Just a complete football team. Balance, offense, running, passing the football, and good defense and special teams as well.
Luke Vlasic starts at quarterback. Elkhorn South this year has played two quarterbacks. Charlie Buller started the first half. Vlasic starts the second. And a little bit of a mix-up with Sutko. He pulled it out of the belly of Sutko, and immediately Vlasic was eaten up on the first play from scrimmage here to begin the second half.
Yeah, just some indecision there from Vlasic. Wasn't sure if he was going to keep or go, and then rethought it at the last second, and ended up getting gobbled up behind the line of scrimmage. Not the way you wanted to start the second half for the Storm.
The linebackers for Westside have been exceptional tonight. Warren, Ryan, Brown, and there you saw Spencer Stuffite make the tackle of Vlasic. Play action, pass across the middle, intercepted on the deflection in the hands of Bryson Williams. Makes the U-turn, heads to the end zone, pick six. The second straight Friday night that Williams has a pick six, and that's just misfortune by Elkhorn South on the deflection into the hands of the future Iowa State Cyclone.
Yep. Right place, right time. He's in there on the coverage, and just off the hands of the receiver, popped into the air. And another tough start to the half here for Elkhorn South, and timely playmaking for Westside, flexing their muscle here in the first 50 seconds of the second half.
Yeah, long and rangy Bryson Williams, his brother Jackson, who was a stalwart baseball and football at Millard West, and now catching passes from former Westside quarterback Cole Payton at North Dakota State, the number one team in FCS. His grandpa is Steve Sinclair, former Omaha World Herald sports editor, who is a photog. Jerlizin gets it through the uprights, and it is now 42-3.
And we'll get another look at this. Yeah, I mean, it's a tight window to throw it into, and it's really a pretty good pass by Vlasic, but in and out of the hands of Bennett Gilman. Popped up perfectly there, right in the waiting arms of Bryson Williams, who has been really dynamic tonight. Threw the touchdown and gets a pick 6 on defense. We get a receiving touchdown. He's really cooking with gas there, but a really good start for Williams tonight, and Westside is rolling.
Last week, so he's trying to do it back-to-back. He last week had an interception, returned it for a score, then he had another interception, but he also had a touchdown receiving. Him and his brother Jackson, they wear the same number that their father wore at Nebraska, number 28. So it is 42-3, 49 seconds into the second half, and we will have a running clock. Who would have thought that when kickoff happened about 90 minutes ago?
Well, especially not this early in the game. I mean, maybe it would have been in the deck of cards somewhere tonight that this result could get here, but goodness, this is a really strong showing tonight from the Westside Warriors.
Cherlizin, his kickoff will be returned by Kiskone. I beg your pardon, out to the 29-yard line. So that is actually some good field position, but it's been a night of just misfortune, either created by themselves or on the deflection that ends in the pick 6. You had the errant snap on their first drive, and then the snap on the punt that skipped up into the midsection of Gilman, and he had a fall onto the 1-yard line, and the next play, Westside's up 14-0. It's been one of those nights, but Westside doesn't allow you to keep the door open very often. If you give them an opportunity and you make a mistake, they're going to make you pay for it. Sutko with a good burst. On first down, tackled by Williams. He's got a first down. That's a pickup of 13 for Jaden Sutko, the second leading rusher in Class A behind Tay Jenkins of Westside.
There was another no-fumbled snap in there as well, down on the other side of the field, and then the pick 6 there. Yes, a couple bounces haven't gone the right way, but you cannot give Westside any window of opportunity.
Sutko again, trying to find a room in the interior, and another tackle. Burke Brown, the senior linebacker, has played really well tonight. That'll be a pickup of a couple of yards as Sutko comes out of the game. So back-to-back 1,000-yard rushers. Gavin Shanahan last year, and now Jaden Sutko this year. Sutko got the play. Blaze Doxson, whose father is Todd, who played football at Iowa State. Blaze played football here at Elkhorn South, and now he's an assistant under Guy Rosenberg. Sutko again trying to find some room, but J.P. Ryan with the ankle tackle. It'll be third down.
That's a good play by Ryan, too, because nobody in front of Sutko on that play. He's got a chance to turn on the jets and go after that, so good ankle tackle. They just, Sutko just has not been able to really get rolling outside of that 40-yard carry, and then the one on this last drive, just a tough night so far for Sutko. Westside's defense has done a nice job.
That is Blaze Doxson.
There you go.
Work with his father, Todd, on Thursday night high school football. And Blaze, who played football at Iowa State, his career was cut short by an injury. Come back to the Omaha area and wants to get into coaching. Play action. Buller now in the game at quarterback on this series, and he keeps it smartly, Connor, and it's going to be about a yard short. It's going to be 4th down and 1, but instead of forcing it downfield, the junior quarterback just tucked it and got himself about 6 yards.
Yep, exactly. Didn't throw it into too much traffic downfield. Westside had it all bottled up way back near about the 20-yard line, and Buller just says, all right, you're going to give me this space in front. Let's get it to 4th and 1 and see if we can get a conversion here.
So they will go with the Rhino package. And Sutko's got a first down. At 8 yards. Also got a nice block by Bo Gilman, working as the fullback in the Rhino package.
When you bunch guys up like that, people think it might make it easier on the defense. It also stresses them in a way as well, especially when you get some good blocking up front and you got extra blockers coming at you. Sutko takes what he's given and gets up to the 40. Kiscone on this play, so just step by step, Elkhorn South continues to look a little bit more comfortable on offense. They need to finish a drive here. Absolutely get themselves feeling good, but starting to feel a little bit more comfortable with what they're doing in navy and gold.
It's an Elkhorn South team that the last 2 weeks they scored 63 on Omaha South, 63 on Burke. Those are both district games. End of the year, they're going to play Papillion, La Vista South. That looks like that'll be for the district title. This is a non-district game. Buller calls his own number, and he's got a first down. Charlie Buller started at quarterback. They played two quarterbacks, and Buller again just found a hole and didn't try and force anything, and he's pick up a 14 down to the 24-yard line for the junior quarterback, Charlie Buller.
I think we've seen less of Buller tonight, more of Vlasic, but Buller, especially after that first drive for Elkhorn South that ended in a disaster, so Buller looks a lot more comfortable now.
Kiscone, oh, he snuck through, and he's got an end zone touchdown. Boy, he lowered his head like he was going to take a hit. Nobody was there. Kiscone looked up. And the next thing you know, he's in the end zone. 24-yard touchdown run, first score of the night for Elkhorn South.
Good, patient run. Waits. Sits behind the line of scrimmage and then gets the burst through. And finally, Elkhorn South is able to get a touchdown on the board.
Joey Kiscone, his fourth touchdown run of the season. Mawson's kick is up and good. Here's the touchdown. First score of the night for Elkhorn South.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Joey Kiscone, 24-yard touchdown run, 8 plays, 70 yards on the scoring drive, 4 minutes and 32 seconds off the clock, and that was on the heels of the Bryson Williams pick six. So Guy Rosenberg will take that. Hasn't come easy tonight, but they've had some drives after they were down big. They've had some drives that they've been able to sustain some momentum and move the sticks, and that was their best drive of the night and culminates in their first score of the night.
Like I said, I think they'd like a redo probably on the start of the game and get your sea legs under you a little bit. Westside hit them with a couple big uppercuts early, but really middle of the second quarter and on, it's been relatively even so far tonight.
It stops the running clock. Mawson chases Tay Jenkins into the end zone. Again, in high school, it's an automatic touchback, and Mawson, both kickers, really good. That is the 10th touchback this year from the sophomore kicker in 39 kickoffs. So now we'll see what Westside does, up 42-10. It has been a big night for Braylon Warren. He has found Mo Purify the second, and then you throw in Tay Jenkins. And you can see why a lot of people are anticipating another Class A state title rematch between Westside and Millard South. But due to the forfeit by Millard South, the points, you could maybe see a Westside Millard South semifinal matchup this year that would be played at Westside. They don't play in the regular season. Tay Jenkins is bottled up behind the line of scrimmage. And once again, it is the guy that all he does is post a TFL. Bradley Batiano, big 6'5", 230-pound defensive end.
A big kid. He's flashed a couple times tonight. Wreaking some havoc in the middle of that line now.
A loss of 2. Warren, play action. Jenkins out of the backfield, and he dropped it.
There wasn't much going on there either. Elkhorn South, after they realized, hey, screen's coming out here, we're going to watch for Jenkins. As Warren flipped his hips and got it back to the other side, Elkhorn South was in front of him had he caught it or not. But obviously, if you're Elkhorn South, you'd rather he drops the football because then you don't have to tackle him, which is proven to be difficult tonight. So, couple positive results here, back to back to back. Elkhorn South is stacking them, and they need to get off the field if they want to continue to roll it their direction.
3rd down and 12. Westside has punted once tonight. Warren to throw. Near sideline, and it is complete. And it's going to be a 1st down. Boy, somehow, Connor, Eli Johnson got open on the curl to the boundary.
Yeah, I thought that was going to skip to him. Warren shorts it a little bit, but a great job by Johnson. He gets his arms underneath it, protects the football. 1st down, Westside.
Eli Johnson, great route runner. He's got speed in the hands. Headed to Northwest Missouri State. He's had a big night tonight and a quick pop pass. Warren finds Bryson Williams for minimal gain.
That's how Westside has started the majority of their drives tonight. They've gotten it quickly out to their playmaking wide receivers and kind of just allowed them to make plays. And the start of this drive, they went to Jenkins and it went backwards, and that sort of set them off kilter. So they go back on 1st down of the air. Let's see where they go on 2nd and 7.
They go with Tay Jenkins. Blockers downfield. One of them's Eli Johnson. And Jenkins will have enough for a 1st down.
It's just you don't see the ability to achieve the balance that Westside can with what they have at quarterback and running back. And here's Jenkins, obviously. So when you have him as not necessarily the guy getting the ball 35 times a game as a piece, a cog in the wheel, it makes everyone so much better.
They have so much familiarity on this offense. Guys have played together multiple years coming up. Also on the varsity, and Tay Jenkins, that 1st down carry, boy, took a big hit and stayed upright. We had some jawing in the 1st half, a couple of 15-yard penalties, and Jenkins didn't like that late hit along the Westside sideline as we're going to look at it here on the replay.
I think Jenkins is mostly going to deliver the blow here. Look at that, like a bowling ball. 3 navy blue bowling pins go down at the end, and Jenkins is still on his feet.
Shot tonight's Justin Tatum, Brian Manley, Todd Sanford, Aaron Havarti, the cameraman. Jenkins slowed up in the backfield. That's a nice play. We haven't mentioned his name tonight, but he's been one of the top defenders all year for Elkhorn South, as Griffin McDonald holds on to Tay Jenkins before he's brought down. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Along with Connor Happer, I'm Gary Sharp. Our statistician, John Carter, up here in the booth. Down on the field, Nick Shaban, Ben Nicola. Big thanks to his father, Mike, who's been with us this year. Little toss to Jenkins in the backfield, and now can Jenkins make something out of what looked like nothing? And he almost does.
That creative, I like it. You know, they're at a certain point, you see Jenkins with the ball and you're anticipating, right? So everybody gets moved in that direction, counter, toss back the other way, and then Jenkins has got a head start on the people who are trying to tackle him. So a creative play call there, and it gets him into 3rd and short.
Braylon Warren, Tay Jenkins, both juniors. Here's Tay. And he's going to have a first down. You can see how difficult it is to bring him down because trailing him, Tristan Brewer from behind brought him down, but not before Jenkins had 4 yards and a first down. Now they go up-tempo. And when you have a second-year starter, and it's amazing, they went from Peyton to Rezac to Warren, all multiple-year starters at quarterback. They know the system inside and out. Warren's changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Play clock has got 8 on it. Snap back to Braylon Warren. Patience finds Tay Jenkins. Now what can Jenkins do? And a good open field tackle. Kiscone, who just had the touchdown, makes the tackle on Jenkins.
Yeah, that's a really good play. You mentioned the experience at quarterback, and here we're going to look at this open field tackle. That is not easy. Pulls him down by the waist. Keep the pants up there, everybody. All right. Good job. But I mean, that experience at quarterback, it's so important. And Warren is doing some advanced stuff for high school quarterbacks. He's got a lot on his shoulders, but an excellent point guard for this offense.
Here's Quentin Warren. Warren fights off one Storm player, and he just bowls his way downfield. It looked like that Hunter Conkey was going to hold him up to get some help, but watch him break free of Conkey right here. Oh, my.
Grab a hold of the jersey and try as hard as you can, but Quentin Warren has been impressive tonight with the ball and attacking the football.
Just makes plays. I just think you had Christian Jones and Quentin Warren together last year. Now Christian Jones at Nebraska. Here's Tay Jenkins. Jenkins, little seam, and all of a sudden he's inside of the red zone. Boy, it looked like he maybe had 4 yards. Next thing you know, he has 9.
This is awfully reminiscent of Westside's first drive of the game, where they go 13 plays and 80 yards, but kind of just 4, 5, 6, 7 yards at a time and steadily moving their way down the field, threatening again.
Warren to Johnson. Johnson's bumped out of bounds after a pickup of 8. They have Tristan Alvano, Caleb Benning, Christian Jones, Preston Okafor in Lincoln on Nebraska's roster. For Elkhorn South alums, Teddy Prohaska, Maverick Noonan, his father, the All-American and NFLer Danny Noonan, and then Ethan Duda as well are on the roster for the Huskers. 107, not counting the in-state products that are on the Nebraska roster. 107 Nebraska natives are playing Division I football this year. That is up from 102 last year. Warren, play action, pressured. Before he goes down, he got it to Jenkins. Boy, McDonald almost knocked him down. Braylon Warren stayed upright and quickly got rid of it to the speedy Jenkins. And that's going to be a first down. What a night for Westside.
Let's watch Braylon Warren here. He gets knocked back. He's already off balance and then sticks his hand out to prevent himself from going down. And what do you know? Tay Jenkins is there to take the feed. Gosh. Just when you think you got him.
Now they'll snap it, first and goal from the 7. Jenkins stops again, cuts back. And there's going to be a penalty thrown right on the goal line where Jenkins is resting.
And came in right at the end of the play. Potentially holding.
We're in the run.
Face mask.
Face mask. Defense. After this, to the goal. First down.
But that's a great job by Jenkins. Once again, just kind of sitting, waiting behind his blockers. But this entire time, he's got the eyes up the field. He's just waiting for things to develop so he can strike. He got it at the 1.
Well, if you have motion sickness, you're not enjoying watching Tay Jenkins play. The motion here is a touchdown. Once again.
Touchdown for the Warriors.
Tay Jenkins now with 3 touchdowns tonight. He has scored 21 touchdowns this season. He's only a junior. What a back-to-back seasons at Westside he has put together. He nearly ran for 2,000 last year, and he is headed towards 2,000 this year. Sherlizin, this is almost automatic. Best kicker in the state. Splits the uprights, and it's back to a running clock now, 49-10, as you get a look at Tay Jenkins.
One more time, we'll take another look. Jenkins gets it. Couple Elkhorn South Storm in front of him. You're not going to catch him. He squeezes through for his third touchdown of the night. It's all Westside.
All the great shots tonight, the sights and sounds from Elkhorn Stadium. Big thanks here on this Friday night. Brad Pace, Brad Zimmerman, Chris Harbold, Dan Warnke, Chuck Stahl, all in the truck. Chris Workman with us tonight. Cosgrove Fattel, Avery Cook, Kevin Schulmeister as well. Up here in the booth.
I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah.
This has been fun these last couple weeks. High school football, a couple perfect weather nights. It's been fantastic.
We have, as Westside celebrating their 49th point, we have been suggested that we try that.
That's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that celebration.
I think
we have the bodies to pull it off.
Yeah.
You know, as far as how many people we need. But I don't know. You never know. We give it a try.
What about the push-ups? I think I would more likely do that than the push-ups.
More likely,
yeah,
but still unlikely.
That very true. Very true. So we're back to a running clock, 49-10. This would be the final play of the third quarter. Simic goes down. What a special teams effort tonight, and the special teams tackle on this play for Westside. That's Mac Dre. Through 3, all Westside on your view.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich, here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions, and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Heads up, the IRS is on the move. If you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in back taxes, revenue agents can now come directly to your home to collect. That means bank accounts, assets, and cash are all up for grabs. The time for waiting is over. StopIRSDebt.com can intercept these agents and stop collections fast. With thousands of 5-star reviews, we've helped low and high income taxpayers get protected and slash their tax debt. So if you're under audit, need your returns filed, or have an agent at your door, go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings. Simply answer a few questions and you're done. With 87,000 new IRS agents on the move, don't roll the dice any longer. There are now generous options to resolve your tax debt, but you must act fast. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings.
Call 855-296-9016. That's 855-296-9016.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
We begin the fourth quarter with a running clock. Who would have thunk it? Westside 49-10 over Elkhorn South. They won this game 45-3 last year. It's kind of been the story of the night. Elkhorn South really hasn't been able to get much going offensively as Buller has pinned up back at the line of scrimmage. Connor Happer, Gary Sharp, it's been a joy to have you the last 2 weeks. For people that don't know, you and I work together in the radio world, so it's two radio guys doing TV. But you saw good football at Central, right?
When I was a senior, we made the playoffs and got beat like 56-0 or something like that. I don't know if you call it good. But my sophomore year, we won state, 2007 over Millard North.
Jay Ball, head coach?
Jay Ball, head coach. Yep, absolutely. A couple good players around, so it was a fun time. And I wasn't much of a football player. I like how you introduced me earlier. That was nice, but not much of a football player.
Yeah, but you got to play at Siemens Stadium, though.
Yes, we got to practice there and play there. That was the best part, honestly. Get the view of downtown on the Friday night. It's fantastic.
So it'll be 3rd down and 8 for the Storm. Again, the clock is running here in the 4th quarter. And all kinds of movement before the snap, so that'll result in a penalty. One game that is not being played in Class A tonight that has drawn national attention, Lincoln High scheduled to play Millard South, but due to injuries and other factors, Lincoln High forfeited their game with Millard South. $1,000 fine, and you do not make the postseason. Millard South, number 19 nationally against competition in state. They've outscored the Nebraska competition 65-3. They are scheduled to play North Platte next week, and then to finish with Benson. As of right now, both of those games will be played for the Patriots.
And you know, the tricky part that you mentioned earlier is they may not be the 1 seed in the wild card points at the end of the year when the bracket is decided. We'll get a timeout here.
We'll step aside. 10:35 to go on this Friday night in Elkhorn, all Westside.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich, here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
3rd down and 13 for Elkhorn South. Buller from his own goal line gets rid of it as he gets hit. And it's going to be incomplete. There was all kinds of contact with the wide receiver who was double covered. Guy Rosenberg livid that there is not a call. His wide receiver, Cameron Wolf, was bumped all over the place like he was on traffic on the Dodge Expressway, which isn't very far from the stadium. There's no flag, just an incomplete pass.
Elkhorn South player a little bit slow to get up. That is Alex Groof, who will make his way off slowly, one of the stalwarts of this offensive line. So he comes off, which stops the clock momentarily. But, yeah, you mentioned there was some contact there down the field. A couple Westside defenders in the area that don't think that ball was going to be caught. Maybe that played into the non-throwing of the flag. Either way, Elkhorn South will punt it away.
Alex, a member of the senior class here, and Guy told me before the season started, very unselfish senior class. And a low snap fumbled in the end zone by Gilman, and he's going to be sacked. The second time tonight, a bad snap on a punt. This time in the end zone, Bryson Williams brings down Gilman for a safety.
And another one where, watch this, this one's just going to get rolled to him basically on a
errant long snaps. Second one that's gone very low tonight for Elkhorn South, who just wasn't, when you bring it all together. I mean, obviously an excellent performance tonight from Westside, a great team, but Elkhorn South, just thinking, they go back and watch the tape tomorrow, they'll say, man, we didn't do the little things right. We didn't get the details right, and that's why it's ballooned the way it has, or at least part of the reason this evening.
Big night for Westside. They will have double treats at Dairy Chef here in Elkhorn on their way back to 87th and Pacific. You saw in our open, our crew, because Dairy Chef, a staple if you're not familiar with Elkhorn, it's a spring, summer staple, ice cream, hamburgers, not just ice cream, great other food. But it is kind of like the place to go, not only for people that live here in Elkhorn, but all over the Omaha area. Our crew decided, let's go there. You know what they did not do?
Invite us?
Correct.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
What a choice, though. An excellent decision by them to make a stop at Dairy Chef, the nationally renowned Dairy Chef. You know one thing?
Nationally renowned?
I'm just going to call it that.
Okay.
We, here in Omaha, as we take a look at Dairy Chef, we do excellent ice cream. And even out here at Elkhorn as well, it's a classic, old-fashioned. You will see people lined up. They'll stay in line for a long time with the big cow in front out at Dairy Chef. How about that shot right there?
Chuck.
That's what you get for not inviting the broadcasters, I suppose.
Yeah, I walked up to the truck, and I was like, those guys are eating ice cream. I go, is it ice cream night? Nope. I just went to Dairy Chef. Now, I knew it was staged because Chris doesn't have $20. So after the safety, Elkhorn South will kick off. And we will see if as Tay Jenkins returns this kickoff after the safety. Starts again. Oh, now he's going the wrong way. And he finally goes down. Let's take a look at the smart call of the game, courtesy of Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile.
First and 10.
Well, we go back to the touchdown here. It is going to be a little handoff. That is Bryson Williams all the way down the field. And that is Eli Johnson, brings it in, gets off a couple tackles at the end. A lot of times in high school football, you don't see those trick plays work out very well. Well executed by Westside, and a smart call indeed.
How about running it right after the fumble recovery on the 40? As now Paul Lamanji goes to his bench, and it doesn't make a difference. There is a flag down as the long carry. Tay Jenkins is now out of the game. Quentin Malone with the carry. He is the backup to Tay Jenkins, the junior, who his 18th carry of the season. And during that long run, it'll be called back. They've also brought in the backup quarterback, Jacob Schleifer, a junior. Tay Jenkins tonight, 23 carries, 132 yards, 3 touchdowns on the ground. His night is done. So he will remain atop the Class A rushing chart. If you want to do the quick math, 1,240 yards through 7 weeks.
It's a awfully good start, but I'm impressed by the balance. You know, you had Warren 15 for 18, 116 yards tonight. Eli Johnson 6 catches for 88 yards. Just a little bit of everything as Westside gets a chance to get the second strings in here with a 51-10 lead, but really complete performance by this group. We thought that was sort of their advantage tonight, the ability to do it in a variety of different ways, and boy, did they ever. They were impressive just about everywhere.
So back-to-back opponents that are unbeaten. Elkhorn South now will suffer their first loss. Next week, Prep at Westside. 1 week from tonight. Prep and Elkhorn South were the two lone unbeatens. Prep is now the lone one. As we saw last week, what a year, and this great Tim Yonk is widely respected throughout the state of Nebraska. The former Husker fullback won a state title at Gross, now in his 9th year at Prep. And we were more than impressed by the 3 phases that Prep showed us last week, and that defense is stellar. Angelo Walker in the backfield. That'll be a great game next week.
Yeah, they were awesome. As Westside gets ahead for the first down, it'll be, Elkhorn South and Prep sort of do things in similar ways. Walker, a little bit of a different back than Sutco here is at Elkhorn South, but it's power. They're going to run right at you. And Westside feels with Jenkins, who can match these great backs in this state at the top of Class A, they might have an advantage on the outside and with their quarterback as well. And they certainly showed that this evening.
There'll be a lot of curiosity on what the bracket will look like in a couple of weeks. 2 weeks from tonight, we will have a bracket. And the first down carry, this is going to go nowhere.
On the carry.
Paul Lamanji hands it off to Noah Frank.
It's great. First of all, having Prep and Westside meet late in the year like that, and with so much on the line, and that they're going to be right there at the top of the rankings. I mean, that is going to be quite the scene, a classic rivalry in the state. Prep and Westside forever and ever have, disliked each other, and man, there's going to be a ton on the line next week at Phelps Field.
Oh boy, and you might, same dentist office, lawyer office. You got Prep and Westside grads that are working next to each other. They're friends except for one day a year, or when they meet in other sports. We've heard about pranks that have been pulled, how the seniors at Westside camp out at Phelps Field to prevent any shenanigans. Yeah, it's a great rivalry. Usually they meet earlier in the year, but they are meeting on week 8, and coming into tonight, the wild card standings in the Class A, Prep is 1, Westside 2, Elkhorn South 3. Third down and 12. Schleifer running and hauled down from behind, and the fumble recovered by Elkhorn South. Pemberton from behind ran down the quarterback. The ball came free, and Simic had it bounce right into his midsection. So Westside turns it over for the first time tonight. They'll have the football with a running clock. 51-10 Westside.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident, it was not your fault. Call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich, here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions, and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Stay tuned at the end of tonight's game. We'll have some final thoughts, and we'll get you the Roloff Construction Player of the Game. Probably not going to be a surprise after this big night by the Warriors. Number 1 in Class B is 3 minutes and 6 seconds from going down. Scott leads Elkhorn North 28-17. So after the turnover, Storm have the football, and new quarterback into the game, Joe Fitcher, is carrying for the first time tonight. Jack Bauer? No. Before you ask.
I didn't watch much 24.
When I said that, I was thinking, okay, you not really have ever talked about it.
It's a great name either way, though.
Yeah, yes, it is.
It's a great name.
So, Jack Bauer carries again. Almost a forgotten television show that was extremely popular when it was airing in the first version, where they took a little time off and came back.
They did a remake of 24?
Well, not a remake, but they took a little time off. But like when it originally debuted, it was like a must-watch on network television. Fox. Fitcher on the keeper. And he'll have a first down. So Elkhorn South will suffer their first loss of the year. They have Norfolk next week, and then they finish with Plain La Vista South, which should be for the district title. Again, the playoff format, district winners, runner-ups, and then the rest that are not either one of those according to wild card points. So more than likely, these two teams, if they meet again, it would be the semifinals or the state final. And this is going to result out of the 1 yard line. Owen Newman with the carry. That's a pickup of 36 all the way down to the 1 yard line.
Now their second biggest play of the night, Newman. Nice job, just kind of gets his way through the puzzle there, and a good chase down in the defensive secondary that prevents Newman from scoring. But a nice run there for Elkhorn South, trying to get one on the board here.
Newman. They mark him out at the 2. Fitcher stonewalled at the 1. He got popped right on the goal line. Kier Diao came up and put a hit on the quarterback. So now it'll be 2nd and goal. Pickup of 1. 51-10 in favor of Westside. All Warriors tonight. They were up 21-0 midway through the first quarter. Newman! Touchdown. The first carries of the year. 36 and now 1 and a touchdown.
Nice moment there for Owen Newman. Hopefully Jerry and the folks in the apartment are all right. Not too angry that Owen Newman busts down the door. Gets Elkhorn South in the end zone.
In on the PAT, Mawson, and it is good. Owen Newman with the 1 yard touchdown run for the Storm of Elkhorn South.
Got a couple positive things going. The end of the first half, and now obviously far too little, far too late for Elkhorn South, and this is going to look great on a resume. Not that it's the resumes that decide anything. We don't have to play bracketologist around this time of year. The points are done for us, but this might scare some folks. 51-17, if that is indeed your final, which it just may be. And there's a lot of other teams met Elkhorn South this year, and they've fallen victim, and Elkhorn South's going to continue to win football games as well. These are two still of the most competitive teams in the state. Who knows? We could still see this again in a couple weeks. And I'm sure Guy Rosenberg wouldn't mind another crack here, but an impressive performance tonight from the Warriors.
2 weeks from tonight, we'll have a bracket. Actually, into the Saturday morning, we'll have a bracket, but everybody by late Friday night. Nate Newhouse and his fantastic crew at NSAA, they'll be crunching the numbers and they'll be spitting out a bracket. We'll all be very curious where Millard South, Westside, Elkhorn South, Prep, they all end up. Westside and Prep next week. Tay Jenkins, night not done. Returns a kickoff, and his night might get even better. Here he is into the open field. He's got one man to beat. The foot race to the end zone. There are no flags on the field until Jenkins crosses the goal line.
Wow. I mean, as you were starting to say there are no flags in the field, out came the flag at the 10-yard line. I don't know what it could possibly be. By that time, the entire Westside team was in front of Elkhorn South. How about Jenkins just asking back into the game? I want to take one back here. Gets his chance, and we'll see what the flag is.
Tay Jenkins, who last year returned 2 kickoffs for scores, 132 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns tonight. There's a little politicking going on. Can you just look over the flag? So they are discussing this, and they're taking a little bit longer than normal.
Yeah, I don't know what it could be.
As Jenkins was weaving his way down the field, I was looking behind the play to make sure that there were no flags. And this is clock stop, the minute 52 to go in the game. And Brian Arvin, our referee.
After the score, unsportsmanlike conduct on the return team, number 16, 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
So the touchdown stands after the return by Tay Jenkins, the personal foul penalty. And how about his night? Connor, he might be our player of the game. I don't want to spoil it, but 3 touchdowns and now a kickoff return for a score.
There was a little debate amongst the jury of selectors of the player of the game tonight, and I'm not at liberty to reveal who won on that debate, but I think you're going to have a pretty good chance, Gary. That'd be my guess. Here's Jenkins.
This will officially be a 96-yard kickoff return.
He stays on his feet here again, showing off that balance. And once again, the flag was for unsportsmanlike conduct after the play. I thought that flag was thrown before Jenkins rolled into the end zone. They call it after the play, and it'll be enforced in the kickoff here. Jenkins was scoring either way. Really, the one time he was bothered was way back at about the 20-25-yard line. Nearly fell down, hot back up, and bursted ahead for a long kick return score. And, man, Jenkins has shown it all tonight. As we talked about in the pregame, just a bunch of dynamic kind of athletes all over the field, but a really, really sound football team for Westside. And, you know, when you add in the weapons, you had a real chance to make some noise. They'll move this back off of for the penalty.
96-yard kickoff return for a score.
58-17. 58 on this Elkhorn South defense. And I think we said, you know, there was a few times tonight where Westside was given a couple advantages in terms of field position, got a turnover, got a kick return for a score and a pick six. Like, Westside has checked every box tonight.
Prior to tonight, Elkhorn South had only given up 36 points in 6 games. 58 for this explosive Westside crew. Westside will go to 6-1. Elkhorn South will suffer their first loss of the year. They'll be 6-1. And Omaha Creighton Prep will be the lone unbeaten team in Class A. So the clock running, move down to the final plays, and Guy Rosenberg will go to work after this game. He's got a veteran staff, and they'll go through the film and they'll figure some things out because they'll have their eye on seeing Westside another time when the leaves start falling and we get into the postseason. This carry is for minimal yards for Jack Bauer. I'm unable to figure out the code of that Westside defensive line.
Number 22 Clifton on the tackle.
Now,
Second down.
at least if he does, it's going to be too little and too late.
Here in Elkhorn, where Elkhorn North, the number 1 team in Class B, they are down 28-17 with 90 seconds to go. Elkhorn South, number 2 in Class A. Play action. Fitcher rolling out. Doesn't have anybody downfield. He'll launch it downfield, and it is incomplete. He's looking for the intended wide receiver, Chase Williamson. And the clock running, and more than likely that is going to be it unless Elkhorn South hustles to the line of scrimmage. May have 1 play remaining.
Maybe. We're going to have to get out of this huddle quickly.
And we will have 1 play. They still have to snap it. The final play. And it's Newman, who has a touchdown tonight, but not enough on this carry. And an impressive performance by Omaha Westside. Paul Lamanji did not like the first half against Central. Maybe a little bit flat. But since then, they've been on a roll. They win tonight 58-17 over Elkhorn South. We're back to Elkhorn Stadium after this on Your View.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. Over 30% of our new clients are referred by former clients. That says it all. Our results and client satisfaction, that's how we became the largest injury firm in the world. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Call 800-589-0055. That's 800-589-0055.
Do you have difficulty hearing your TV? Or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from Nano hearing aids. Other hearing aids are expensive and cost thousands of dollars. But if you call now, you can get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids ever again. The Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aid is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. And they offer superior noise reduction and a tiny in-the-ear design that is nearly invisible. And best of all, they are incredibly affordable. Call now and get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Plus, get a free charging dock and your shipping is always free. But that's not all. Order now and get 1 year of elite protection with loss and theft coverage absolutely free. That's a $79 value, yours free. And all Nano hearing aids come with a 45-day money-back guarantee.
Call 1-800-390-1322. That's 1-800-390-1322.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Impressive performance tonight. There's only one unbeaten left in Class A. Omaha Westside comes into Elkhorn and they defeat previously unbeaten Elkhorn South 58-17. They were up 21-0 halfway through the first quarter and never looked back. And a big reason is that guy right there, Tay Jenkins. He had 3 touchdowns on the ground and a 96-yard kickoff return. He's our player of the game, brought to you by Roll-Off Construction, 100% employee-owned.
Steady dose of Tay Jenkins tonight. 23 carries, 132 yards, 3 touchdowns on the ground. Oh, gets that one on the receiving end there. Nice play by the quarterback, Warren. Had a couple 1-yard scores. Able to punch it in and gets going in the return game late as well.
58-17. Tay Jenkins, 21 touchdowns now on the season. Back for some final thoughts on this Friday night of Week 7 after this.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Thinking about retirement? Would you like to have retirement income that you can count on for the rest of your life? How about up to 33% more income? Call this number to get this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers. This book is filled with valuable information uncovering little-known secrets to help you maximize your income in retirement. And it's free. Retirement income you can count on starts by calling for this free book. As a bonus, we'll also rush this annuity rate report, also absolutely free. Annuity National researched numerous products and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from foremost insurance companies like Nassau Life and Annuity. Call for both these free books, Annuity National, retirement income you can count on for the rest of your life. Call now.
For your free books, call 800-793-7995. That's 800-793-7995. 800-793-7995.
Omaha Central, the loss that Westside suffered, it's almost in the rearview mirror tonight. A very, very impressive performance against previously unbeaten Elkhorn South. Omaha Westside, Connor Happer, they win tonight 58-17. Tay Jenkins counted for 4 touchdowns. Braylon Warren, 2 touchdown passes to Mo Purify. The second was just all Westside from the opening kickoff.
Yeah, dominant, complete effort tonight, both offensively and defensively from Westside, and a positive result to take forward. They take advantage of the opportunities they were given. They had to work for it early and then poured it on a really, really good football team on the other side of the field. And like I said, this might not be the last time these two teams see each other this year. So Westside will have this one in their back pocket as we get closer to the end of October and into November.
Yep, only 2 more weeks left in the regular season. Next week, Westside gets prepped. They've already knocked off one unbeaten. Do they get another? That's our fantastic crew in the truck. Thanks to all of them. Thanks to all of you for joining us here on Your View. Our great crew once again delivering the sights and sounds on a Friday night. And a little bit too much. Final score, Omaha Westside 58, Elkhorn 17. For John Carter, Brad Pace, Connor Happer, I'm Gary Sharp. Good night, everybody.
Nearly 1 in 4 U.S. consumers have been a victim of identity theft, even when they did all the right things to protect their personal information.
I did everything right, but an institution that had my data didn't. And now my identity's been stolen.
Banks, hospitals, employers, and other institutions all have your personal information too. And when they're exposed, careful monitoring of your accounts and credit won't be enough.
$110,000 of my hard-earned money gone.
The stakes are high, and even if you take steps to protect your personal information, you're not the only one who has it. Only LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second, alerting you to the widest volume of threats. And if you become a victim, a dedicated U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed. Plus, all LifeLock members are backed by the LifeLock $1 Million Protection Package, including reimbursement for stolen funds. Call now or go online and use promo code 35TV to save 35% off an annual plan for your first year.
Heads up, the IRS is on the move. If you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in back taxes, revenue agents can now come directly to your home to collect. That means bank accounts, assets, and cash are all up for grabs. The time for waiting is over. StopIRSDebt.com can intercept these agents and stop collections fast. With thousands of 5-star reviews, we've helped low and high income taxpayers get protected and slash their tax debt. So if you're under audit, need your returns filed, or have an agent at your door, go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings. Simply answer a few questions and you're done. With 87,000 new IRS agents on the move, don't roll the dice any longer. There are now generous options to resolve your tax debt, but you must act fast. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings.
Call 855-296-9016. That's 855-296-9016.
Get ready to travel across America meeting the next generation of top athletes. We'll start in California with one elite volleyball prospect and then introduce you to another in Michigan. We've got plenty of football today as well, as you'll meet a top running back in Georgia, a rising quarterback in Nebraska, and a defensive back in North Carolina who's following his father's legacy. Those stories and more are coming up next on Sports Stars of Tomorrow. Welcome to Sports Stars of Tomorrow. I'm Charles Davis. Southern California has always been a hotbed for volleyball talent on both the court and the sand. Mira Costa High School has contributed quite a bit to that legacy, and the Mustang star senior this year is one of the best in the nation. And that's this week's 5-star feature. She's an All-American, an international gold medalist, and PrepVolleyball.com ranks her as one of the top 5 overall players in the 2026 class. But Audrey Flanagan doesn't want to hear all that.
She's very humble about it. She won't let me praise her in front of anybody. If I try to throw some praise on her or mention an accolade, she gives me the stink eye.
She wants to be the best player, but she wants to do it in her own way, and she doesn't like doing interviews, and it's kind of funny to watch because she's kind of uncomfortable in that situation.
I think it's obviously cool, but like it's more important like how I show up on the court and like with the teams I'm in, not necessarily like what like a website says about me.
It would just crush her if anybody were to say like you brag or you're a show off. She's just not that way at all.
The humble superstar has always had a passion for volleyball. She learned to love the sport playing at the beach with her family.
Well, she's the youngest of 11 cousins, and so all of her cousins were athletes, and many of them were very good club volleyball players. So she started peppering with her cousins when she was very young.
So I think just like I loved the beach. Being at the beach was so fun. And I think for me, like being a kid, like that's what I wanted to do. Me and my other brother who plays volleyball would like always pepper in the front yard or like make up volleyball games. So I think that also really got me into it.
My house has really high ceilings, and they would pepper inside the house for a long time. I think they got to 1,000 one time.
By the time she was 8 or 9 saying, okay, I'm ready, I'm wanting to play a sport. And I'm like, well, there isn't any local sports. You actually have to join a club. It kind of convinced her to start playing club at an early age. And I just know it was always what she wanted. Like she was very clear. She wanted to be part of a team.
As a person who loves to be part of a team, Audrey wasn't going to find many better than the one at Mira Costa High School. The Mustangs have a trophy case full of state and national championship hardware, and the halls of its athletic facility are lined with former Olympians and Hall of Famers.
It's super special. I mean, even just like wearing this shirt and like being a part and playing for Cam is just like super special, regardless of what team you're on. It just like the atmosphere in the gym, like everybody here wants to work hard and they want to train, and obviously that pays off in the end.
It's one of the most prestigious schools in the country in terms of volleyball. I think it's known nationwide because we've had some of the best players in the world play here.
At Mira Costa, Audrey has developed into one of the best outside hitters in America.
One, she's built like a volleyball player. She's long, she's tall, she actually jumps really well and coordinated, and I think the piece that you don't see is that she is fiercely competitive, and if she's hurt, she still plays. If she's sick, she still plays.
That resilience was never more evident than last season when Audrey played with a partially torn meniscus before she ultimately had to be shut down during postseason play.
Super frustrating. I mean, I knew I had torn my meniscus for like most of the Costa season, but I didn't know I needed surgery until like the end. But then, I mean, it obviously sucked having to sit there and watch that last one.
Next year, Audrey will be reunited with a couple of former teammates at the University of Wisconsin. Anaya Warren, with whom she won a gold medal with the USA U19 team, is currently with the Badgers, as is another Mira Costa product, Charlie Furbringer.
I talked to Charlie about it my sophomore year. She kind of like nudged me a little bit in that direction, and then when I started looking, it kind of just like that was always in the back of my mind. And then when I visited, it was just like I felt super like safe to me and like just like home. So I think I knew. I definitely love like big crowds, and I love the support. Having that there was also like a huge factor for me.
Like I said, she's built for this. If her body holds up and she can get some strength, she can compete at the highest level, and I think go into Wisconsin and make an impact right away, which says a lot because that's always one of the best programs in the country. And I think she has a future to play professionally after that.
As a talented player who keeps playing for championship level programs, Audrey may not love all the praise that keeps coming her way, but she might have to get used to it.
I think it's going to be something she's going to have to learn, because when you say a compliment, she's like, oh, stop. And she like rolls her eyes or she moves her face. Just stop it.
She's just the sweetest kid. She's so kind, cares about everyone. The cool part is, you know, these kids look up to her and she knows it, but there's never been a situation where it feels like she's put herself ahead of everyone else. And To me, that's everything, and that's the culture that I want to have here at Maricosta, is that we're all a team.
I'm just proud of how she's carried herself through all this success. I don't think anything's going to change that. I think she's a team player by nature.
All right, who's hungry? Because for today's Playing Favorites, we're asking the sports stars of tomorrow, what is your favorite meal?
My favorite thing to eat, I like to eat shrimp Alfredo or barbecue ribs.
My favorite meal is chicken Alfredo or shrimp Alfredo.
Shrimp pasta, either my dad or my mama cook it.
My favorite thing to eat is pizza.
My favorite meal is chicken parm.
Favorite meal, steak.
My favorite meal is my dad's steak and his fries.
My dad's lasagna is my favorite meal.
Favorite meal is definitely mom's spaghetti. Oh, and another favorite meal is definitely dad's ribs.
Favorite food, I love barbecue. Love ribs specifically.
I like to eat everything.